native grassland with good water. Track 1, 708 acres east of Turnpike. Track 2, 239 acres west of Turnpike. Flint Hills Pastures Auction, March 5th, Cottonwood Falls, Kansas. Details, photos, GriffinRealEstateAuction.com and Lefty.com.
Welcome back to Viking Gymnasium. Brendan Dorzinski with you on the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader here on 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9. A great city rivalry on tap tonight. The Hayden Wildcats and the Seaman Vikings here in North Topeka. Girls game first. Our boys game will follow second this evening. Starting lineups are about to be announced here prior to our first game of the evening, and as they do that down on the court, we will get to the starting lineups for tonight's game right here on the broadcast as well. We will start with the visiting Lady Wildcats, 7-7 on the year, coming off a win over Junction City earlier on this week under second-year head coach Carvel Reynoldson. First up for the Lady Wildcats, Noelia Cruz, a 5'1" sophomore guard, averaging just about 3 points and 3 assists per game played, but did not score against Junction City earlier on this week. Ren Calhoun, one of the players we talked about earlier on in the pregame show about having to step up in place of the injured Macy Smith. Well, she has put together a phenomenal senior season with a 6-foot post averaging 11 points and 9 rebounds a game. She is coming off of a 17-point performance in the win on the road against Junction City on Tuesday night. Also in the starting lineup, Callie Moore, a 5'8" senior. She also did not score against Junction City, averaging over 3 points and 4.5 rebounds per game on the season this year. Also in the starting lineup, Carly Stuckey, junior, 5'8" post, we talked about a little bit earlier on, a former 580 Sports Talk High School Athlete of the Week this year. 10 points against Junction City earlier this week. She's averaging 15 points per game to lead the Lady Wildcats this season. And also junior, standing at 5'8", Riley Schmidtline, averaging about 2 points and 2 rebounds a contest. And right on cue, scored, 2 points against Junction City earlier this week. Continuing on with our starting lineups, we have a slight delay on the court as we await a stoppage here. The two teams are ready to announce their starting lineups. We're just waiting for them to actually begin the process of making the introduction. So let's get to the Seaman Lady Vikings under fourth-year head coach Matt Tinsley. Tinsley is 53-27 as the head man of this Seaman program. In the starting lineup, senior guard Reagan Kramer, the defensive stopper for this team, averaging over 6 points a contest on the year, had 6 of them against Junction City on Wednesday. Each of these two teams, their last games, were against Junction City earlier on this week. Carson Anderson averaging just a hair under 4 points per contest this year. She had a big night against Junction City, tallying 9 in the scorebook. Senior post Riley Cowan, standing at 5'11", she averages 6 points per contest, had 8 in her last time out. Also, Taylon Stahlbaumer, standing at 5'7", the freshman, leading scorer for the Vikings this year, just over 10 points per contest, had 12 against Junction on Wednesday night. And also, let's get to Janasia Anderson, the 5'7", senior forward, 3.7 points per game, coming off a 2-point performance her last time out. Again, we are experiencing just a slight delay in announcing our starting lineups, but the two teams are bringing their players out at the moment. So as they make their final introductions, it'll give us a chance to remind you that sports on 580 WIBW are brought to you by Blue Dot of Kansas. Buy any qualifying Train system and get a Remy air purifier for free up to a $900 value. Get a free 1-year Blue plan as well with finance options of up to 18 months with no interest available. You can visit them on the web at blue.kansas.com, sponsoring sports coverage on 580 WIBW. As we mentioned, we are expecting a low-scoring affair in this contest tonight. The home team, the Lady Vikes, they average just a shade over 39 points per contest. On the other side, the Lady Wildcats of Hayden averaging just a bit under 50 points per game. The first time these two teams faced off, a total of 73 points were scored, 37-36. Hayden was victorious in the first matchup of these two teams earlier on this season. Key in this one is going to be playing the smart basketball, making key buckets. That's going to be a key for each of these teams. When points come at a premium, it's going to be smart or important. Make sure you don't commit the bad mistakes. Don't give away extra possessions when you need them, especially at the end of the game. The smarter team, the one who plays the cleaner game, may be the one that comes out victorious in this one tonight. No tip-off, of course, because of COVID-19 protocol, so Hayden will start with the ball, wearing their road blue uniforms, gold trim around the shoulders, gold numerals as well. On the other side, for the Seaman Vikings, white home uniforms, blue numbers, blue lettering across the front, red trim, and striping along the side of the shorts. Hayden will be moving from right to left as you listen as we get this game underway here in just a moment. Wildcats finally break their huddle after the slight delay during the introductions. It will be Carly Stuckey, the leading scorer for Hayden, to inbound on the first possession of the ballgame. Tossing it into Noelia Cruz in the backcourt, and we are underway at Viking Gymnasium in Game 1 of tonight's Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader. Ball at the right elbow in the hands of Ren Calhoun. Calhoun turns around, puts a shot up. It's no good. Rebound bounces out and is hauled in by Seaman. 12 seconds into the game. First miss for the Wildcats. Now the Vikings coming in the other direction, moving from left to right as you listen. Reagan Kramer controlling the dribble with the right hand at the top of the key. Angles off to her right. She's checked by Stuckey. Goes now to the top and all the way around the horn to the left wing into the possession of Carson Anderson. Anderson now finds Janasia Anderson. No relation between the two. Kicked into the right corner. Three-point attempt is up left short by the freshman Taylor Stahlbomber and rebounded long by the Wildcats on the strong side. Hayden going the other way. Just about 40 seconds gone in this first quarter. No score yet. We have a whistle and a foul for stoppage of the game. First infraction for either team. This one is called against Riley Cowan. That is her first. 7:19 to go here in the opening period. Wildcats with the ball. No score in this one yet. Cruz runs it just inside the three-point arc and then kicks it into the right corner. And Schmidtline. Schmidtline now goes inside to Ren Calhoun. Calhoun drives, left-hand layup, and she's fouled. Shot goes off the bottom of the backboard. Cowan is incensed that she was whistled for another foul there. That's two quick ones on the senior Cowan, and that's going to force Matt Tinsley to go to his bench early. Less than a minute into this contest, as the first free throw is up and pure for Ren Calhoun. Calhoun on the season averaging 11 points a contest. Checking in for the Vikings is Brooklyn Gormley. She'll head into the game as both free throws are knocked down by Ren Calhoun. She's got the first 2 points of the contest, and it's 2-0 Hayden Wildcats as we approach 1 minute gone in the opening period of play as Reagan Kramer sprints into the front court across the divider, controlling the dribble with the left, switches to the right, and will pass it off to Gormley. Freshman to freshman, giving it off to Taylor Stahlbomber. Out of the free throw line, extended right in the hands of Carson Anderson. He'll dribble into the corner before passing underneath to Gormley. Gormley gets double-teamed underneath. We've got a foul on the right block. A lot of quick whistles here. This one called against Riley Schmidtline of Hayden. That's the first on the Wildcats. 3 combined fouls for these teams in 1 minute and 12 seconds to start this game. Looking to inbound. Thrown deep to Kramer on the right wing. Your side of the court. Pass back to the top of the key and Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber now flips it over to Anderson. Loses the ball. Gets it right back. We'll find Gormley at the top. Now Kramer. Kramer. Slight drive. Kicks right corner for Taylor Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber has to pick up the dribble. Passes back out to Kramer. Kramer fakes the three. Drive. Right-handed floater. Leaves it short. Rebound batted around. There's a fight for it. And bodies going down to the ground. Effort by Janasia Anderson at the very end of the play to grab onto that ball. It's a tie-up, and it stays with the Vikings. 2-0 Wildcats here. 6:28 to go in the opening period. Vikings to inbound. It's Gormley. Basket to her right. Throws it in to Carson Anderson. Now to the top and Reagan Kramer. Senior point guard who was on last year's state qualifier team. One of the key cogs of last year's state qualifier team. Pass it over to the wing, and that's where it's hauled in by Carson Anderson, who loses the ball. And now we've got another tie-up as she loses the handle. This time the Wildcats pick it up and will get possession with the alternating arrow. A lot of action so far without many points to show for it. 2-0 Hayden. 6:11 to go and counting in the first quarter. Cruz slowly, deliberately brings it across the timeline from right to left as you listen. Passes once to the right to Schmidtline. She gets back now to Schmidtline again. Steps inside, thinks about a shot, will instead pass from corner to corner. Back up to the top and Stuckey. And Carly Stuckey buries the three-pointer. The first field goal of the contest. It belongs to Carly Stuckey, the leading scorer for Hayden this season at 15 points a contest. 5:45 to go in the first. It's 5-0 Hayden. Janasia Anderson just off center from the top of the key. Passes to the cutter. It's Carson Anderson. Misses the floater. Janasia gets it back. Spinning around to the right block. Throws it back to Kramer. Now around the horn to the left wing. And Taylor Stahlbomber. Left-hand dribble drive inside. Gets cut off by Stuckey. It's throw back to the top. Janasia Anderson. Now Kramer. Point guard on point guard defense there. She gives it off to Anderson. Now to Gormley. Now to Taylor Stahlbomber. Gets inside the arc. Step back. Now runs back toward the middle of the court before finding Carson Anderson once again. Seaman having a tough time penetrating. This time, though, a good pass inside to Gormley, and she's hacked as she tries to go off the window. Second team foul against the Wildcats. 5:09 left in the first. That's the first foul called on Ren Calhoun. And it sends Gormley to the line. couple low bounces with the ball, puts up the first free throw. It rattles around the rim and through. Gormley, over the last 2 months, really about a month and a half since the return from quarantine for Seaman, has been averaging over 6 points a contest. Now with their second free throw, this one is pure, and the Seaman Vikings are on the board for the first time, 5-2, as we approach the 5-minute mark to go here in the first. Schmidtline to Stuckey in the left corner. Now back to Schmidtline. She'll pop a three from the left wing. Puts it up too strong. Hits the heel. And a rebound. Quick one and done that time. Vikings going the other way. Reagan Kramer controlling the dribble. Slowly brings it across the Viking head logo at midcourt. Switching hands with the dribble. Spinning around. Trying to get away from Cruz or find someone to pass to. Still switching hands. Still back by near midcourt. Kramer at the top to Taylor Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber left-hand dribble drive inside. Gets to the paint. Stops. Kicks it back outside. Carson Anderson, now Kramer again will set things up, playing traffic cop near the volleyball line. Over to the right wing, Carson Anderson tries driving to the right baseline, will stop, put up the mid-range two, misses this time. Another fight for the rebound. Bodies fall to the floor again. It is batted all the way back to the far sideline near midcourt. Last touched by Cruz of Hayden. Not quite halfway through this first quarter, as we've got a substitution now for the Wildcats. Lauren Sandstrom checking into the game for the first time, as does Jill Leonard. Pair of freshmen, 5'9" and 5'7", respectively. 4 freshmen get regular minutes for this Hayden team, and that has been something of a point of pride for head coach Carvel Reynoldsson. This is a group that has been together playing club for many years, and they have really played a major role for this Wildcats team so far this season. 4:08 to go in the first. Vikings passing it around the arc. Kanasia Anderson's got it left wing. She'll drive to the free throw line. Stop pass back to Reagan Kramer, who gets cut off as she angles for the baseline. Will have to pull things back out, reset the offense once again. More than halfway through the first quarter now. Carson Anderson thinks about a three from the left corner. Will pull it back, stop her dribble. Now she needs to pass to someone, eventually finds Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber puts her head down, swings it into the right corner, and Kramer. Kramer this time being checked by Leonard. Now she'll go to the top. Left wing three, but up and missed by Carson Anderson. This is that one a little bit short, but the rebound is batted out to Kramer. Kramer tries the shot, gets it partially blocked, and now the Wildcats will take over. 3:34 left in the opening quarter. 5-2. Wildcats with the lead over the Lady Vikes. At the top in Leonard. Freshman checked by Carson Anderson. Now, wide open three look for Lauren Sandstrom. She has it just off center to the left of the top of the circle. Misses, but a long rebound on the weak side stays with the offense. Now back to the top. Three-pointer up for Ren Calhoun this time. It lifts out, and it's Gormley who hauls in the rebound for the Vikings. Shots just not falling. A couple decent looks that time for Hayden, just not able to get them to fall. Now Kramer with the drive, stops on the right wing. She'll pop a three. Looks decent off her hand. Too strong, though, off the backside of the rim, and it will go out of bounds without a rebound. 2:57 left in the first quarter. Still 5-2. Hayden with the lead. Carson Anderson heads out for Seaman. Ren Calhoun gets a breather for Hayden. Wildcats bring it into the front courts. Leonard controlling the tempo as she gets across the divider. She tries driving to the right elbow. Will swing it on back to Sandstrom. Sandstrom over her head, dumps it inside. Pass that one to Sandy Anguiano, who just checked into the game. Now Leonard, now Stuckey left wing. Thinks about a pass inside. Will dribble back to the top with the right hand. Now around the horn to the right. Free throw line extended. Sandstrom tries driving, puts the ball above her head, and she nearly gets tied up, but instead, ball gets whacked at. She takes an extra step, and that's a turnover by the Wildcats. Low scoring as we expected in this one, 5-2. Hayden with the lead, 2.5 minutes showing on the clock in the period. As Reagan Kramer moves from left to right across the midcourt stripe. Looking for someone to pass to with the ball. Now to the free throw line extended left, pass underneath, looking for Brooklyn Gormley, and the pass just a little bit off target, thrown down there and missing. It was J.C. Schumann, who just checked into the game for Seaman, who missed on that pass, and the Wildcats take back over, leading by 3. Quickly into the front court with Leonard. Leonard finds Stuckey, puts the ball above her head, puts it back down, dribbles on a bounce pass to the top of the key. Now controlled way off the right wing by Sandstrom. Back to Leonard. Now Sandstrom again has it right corner, wants to drive, gets cut off by Kramer, passes back to Leonard, who launches a three, hits the back of the iron, bounces out far. Another long offensive rebound by Hayden, nearly lost by Leonard. She dives near midcourt and is able to pick it up, and we've got a whistle and a timeout called by Hayden. It's a 30-second timeout to make sure the Wildcats are able to keep possession with 1:50 to go here in the first quarter. 5-2, Hayden with the advantage so far in this one. Orbis Corporation in Osage City is hiring, and you can see a full list of positions at www.orbiscorporation.com. Join a team that makes a difference. Both teams playing effective defense so far. Some of the shots haven't been falling. The offense has not looked too shabby for either of these groups in this one. But it's been a matter of very solid defense, especially inside, forcing both teams to launch a lot of threes in the early going here. With under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter of tonight's contest. Wildcats with a win would push themselves over 500. That would be for the first time since the very start of the month after a win against Topeka West to start January back on the 7th of that month. Wildcats into the front court. Carly Stuckey with it, shoots pass over from left wing to right, now into the right corner, and Sandstrom. Back to Leonard, who passes underneath to Sandstrom. Short right corner, back out to Stuckey. Contested three, launches this one. It misses the rim, hits the side of the backboard. Rebounded by the Vikings, and they're trying to run the other way with Taylor Stahlbomber. Vikings don't have numbers, though, and Stahlbomber will pull it out with under a minute and a half to go in the first. Seaman has it, left wing to Janasia Anderson at the top. Right-hand dribble, will toss it back outside to Reagan Kramer. Kramer scoops one over to Taylor Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber tries driving inside among the trees and gets fouled on the drive along the left side of the lane. Minute 16 on the clock as that whistle is blown. That foul called on Avery Brunner, who just checked into the game for the first time after that last timeout. Third team foul on Hayden, still 2 on Seaman, both of which came on Riley Cowan. Ball inbounded, the pass is off target. Brooklyn Gormley missed it, and the Wildcats on the steal off the inbound. Driving all the way down court. Once again, no numbers that time for Leonard. She'll throw it back to the top. Anguiano pops the three. This one hits the left side of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Janasia Anderson for Seaman. A physical rebound to rip that one away. And she passes up to Carson Anderson, who's back into the game. To Seaman, now to Anderson again. Whips the pass to the left wing. Three-pointer up for Reagan Kramer. Buries it from the left wing. Reagan Kramer into the scorebook for the first time. And just like that, we're all tied up. 5 apiece. 47 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Wide open look that time by Kramer. It's Seaman to draw a level with the Wildcats. Trying to answer. Wide open three from the right corner this time. It's the freshman Lauren Sandstrom knocking it down. 8-5. Wildcats right back up by a triple. 27 seconds now showing on the clock. The Vikings can hold to the final shot if they so choose. Inside the right corner to Kramer. She'll dump it underneath for Janasia Anderson. Spin move to her left. Misses the hook shot. Rebounded by the Wildcats. Now 15 seconds to go. Hayden has a chance to hold for one. Lobbed up ahead to Sandstrom. Sandstrom gets bumped as she gets to the left block. Puts up the little floater, and she's able to knock it down. 5 straight points for Lauren Sandstrom. Down to 5 seconds showing on the clock. Kramer across midcourt with 2. Kramer looking, lofts it up at the horn, and it is just out and no good as we head to the second quarter. A quick 5-0 flurry by the Hayden Wildcats makes it 10-5 as we head to the second on the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week on 580 WIBW.
Wood & Wood Farm Retirement Auction, Saturday morning, February 13th, 11 o'clock, west of Manhattan, Kansas. Line Realty Auction.com. Auction will be conducted as scheduled. Please dress warm. Complete line, good farm machinery. John Deere 6170R, 7330, 7810, 4030 tractor. John Deere S660 SPS combine. Mac-On 30-foot flex draper head. Grain cart, auger, precision ag items, trucks, trailers, bulldozer, hay equipment, planting, tillage, irrigation. Wood & Wood Farm Auction is scheduled Saturday morning, February 13th, west of Manhattan. Line Realty and Auction.com.
Okay, set it down over there and then go to bay 5.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin. Like Amir's warehouse, to expand capacity, you need to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to the Envista Credit Union Game of the Week doubleheader. Brendan Dorzinski with you at Viking Gymnasium in North Topeka. The Seaman Vikings with the ball to start the second quarter, trailing the Hayden Wildcats 10-5 after a quick 5-0 flurry to end the second period. Vikings trying to answer back to start off the second. Running floater from the left baseline is up and missed by Lauren Sweeney into the game for the first time for the Lady Vikes. She misses, and 20 seconds in, Hayden's trying to run the other direction, and we've got a turnover on the Wildcats. Underneath the basket, it was Riley Schmidtline, the junior post, who took a few too many steps, a little bit of a stutter step move, in fact, as she got near the paint. Another turnover, 2 turnovers combined here in less than 30 seconds to start off this second quarter. Reagan Kramer shoots at the top, and Taylor Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber drives inside, gets bumped, and as she tried to pass it back outside to Kramer, she is going to benefit from a foul call. Once again, that foul is called on Brunner, Avery Brunner, with 2 fouls already. So she's got 2 for Hayden. Riley Cowan's got 2 for Seaman. 10-5. Wildcats with the lead. 7:26 to go until the halftime break. It'll be Sweeney to inbound, Stanchion to her left. Slaps the ball, throws it in, finds Reagan Kramer, free throw line extended left. She'll dribble back toward the middle of the court, stops, flip it back outside. Spinning around with the ball now is Riley Cowan, who's back into the game with those 2 fouls. Nearly stolen, poked away in the left corner. Some chaos in the far left corner on the Seaman offensive side. It's last touched, though, by the Vikings, bouncing out of bounds, and the Wildcats take over. Grunnert heads out for Hayden, as the Wildcats now move the ball into the front court, moving from right to left as you listen. Pass to short corner left and Regan Husher. She's the one who just subbed in for Grunnert, and now she gets the ball back, short right corner, toss it back around the horn. Wildcats trying to go, ball over the head. Now a dribble for the Wildcats. It's a double dribble, in fact, by Schmidtline. That's consecutive turnovers for the junior Schmidtline. Over a minute gone in this second period, and we have no points yet in this one. Kramer takes the inbound. The future Arkansas Razorback softball player will sprint across the divider, making sure she doesn't get a violation called against her. Swings left corner. Three-pointer up this time by Sweeney. It goes halfway down and bounces out. Rebound by the Wildcats. Lady Wildcats trying to run, and it's held up at the last second by Sandstrom near midcourt. Calhoun to set up the offense. Now Cruz back in the game, dribbles it back. Approaching the midcourt logo, will angle off to the right and find Schmidtline. Now back to Cruz. Around the horn it goes in the hands of Sandstrom. Back to Cruz. Cruz, left-hand dribble. Gets to the left elbow, kicks it into the left corner. Now back to the free throw line. Jump shot up from there is knocked down by Ren Calhoun. Calhoun's got 4 points. She had the first 2 of the first quarter, first 2 of the second quarter as well. 7-point lead for the Wildcats. Hayden's biggest of the game at 12-5. Drive this time by Talon Stahlbomber, and the leading scorer for the Vikings. Trying to answer quickly, gets fouled as she goes to the cup. Foul on Ren Calhoun of Hayden. That is 2 now on Calhoun, and it sends Stahlbomber to the line, averaging 10 points a contest this season. First free throw is up, and it snaps the cords. So Stahlbomber into the scorebook for the first time. Cuts the lead down to half, 12-6. Dribbles, and now the second shot up by Stahlbomber. This one silky smooth as well. Carly Stuckey will head back into the game for Hayden as the lead is cut down to 5. Ren Calhoun will head to the bench. And Stuckey will inbound the ball to Cruz. Cruz running the point, did not score on Tuesday night against Junction City. Averages 3 points and 3 assists per game. He controls the ball at the top after receiving a skip pass across the court. Tries driving inside, has the ball poked away from behind and stolen off the tip by Lindsey Smith. Now Sweeney has it on a pass from Kramer across the divider. Kramer gets it back, angles to the right-hand side of the court. Checked by Cruz. Tries crossing over her dribble, loses possession of the ball. There's a scrum for it. It bounces into the backcourt, and it's stolen away by Carly Stuckey. Stuckey now to Sandstrom. Sandstrom runs it into the right corner, will peel out and throw to the elbow, and Regan Husher. Once again, all the way around. Riley Schmidtline gets a pass, right wing, puts up a 3. This one misses short, bounces high off the rim, and a rebound by the Seaman Vikings. 12-7, 5:25 to go. Hayden with the lead in the first half. We've got a foul on a drive as Lauren Sweeney had possession of it, was trying to sprint to the basket, and she was grabbed as she moved forward. That one is on Schmidtline. That's her second. So 6 team fouls against Hayden, 2 apiece on Ren Calhoun, Avery Grunnert, and Riley Schmidtline. Sweeney and Smith will head to the bench for Seaman. Trailing by 5. 12-7, 5:20 to go. Inbounds pass is chucked deep and hauled in by Carson Anderson. Anderson dumps underneath for Janasia Anderson. Anderson gets the hoop, gets the harm, going off the window for 2, and a chance at one more. Excellent play that time by Janasia Anderson, using her strength to muscle up a shot through contact and get a chance at one more. The foul that time is on Husher, as the and one free throw is up and true. So Janasia Anderson with the old-fashioned 3-point play. It's now a 2-point contest and a 2-point advantage for the Wildcats, who have the ball moving into the front court. Riley Schmidtline has it, right wing, dumps it off underneath, and wide open is Husher to finish from the right block. Her first 2 points of the contest, back to a 4-point advantage for the Lady Wildcats at 14-10. Over 3 minutes gone here in the second quarter. Reagan Kramer controlling it, runs it into the right corner. Now to Janasia Anderson, quick touch pass underneath. And a shot is blocked from behind. Could have been a foul as Cowan went up. She wanted one, doesn't get the benefit of the call at home. Wildcats quickly into the front court. Throwing inside, Schmidtline was looking for Stuckey. Pass is tipped away and stolen away by Cowan. A little ball don't lie action that time for Riley Cowan as she gets the steal. And now the Vikings will set things up right corner with Stahlbomber. Now to the wing, back and forth, working with Janasia Anderson. Swings it across to the left wing, and now near the left corner. Left elbow, right block. That's Janasia Anderson who controls it. Throws back to the top, and Taylor Stahlbommer. Carly Stuckey on Stahlbommer. Top 2 scorers in this game. Over the course of the season anyway. Janasia Anderson gets a pass after it's tipped. Tries driving. Kicks it short corner right. This long 2 is up and swished home by Taylor Stahlbommer. 4 points. She leads the Vikings in scoring in this one. 14-12. Halfway through the second period. Wildcats still with the lead. Trying to extend it on this possession. Cruz controls it. Free throw line extended right and Schmidt line. Now back to Cruz. Puts the ball over her head. Closest defender is Karsten Anderson. Cruz with the right hand. Passes underneath. Great cut by, that is Schmidt line. She passes out to Husher. Now around the horn to the right wing. Three-pointer is up left short by Cruz. And the rebound pulled in by Stahlbommer for the Vikings. Stahlbommer racing the other way. She takes it all the way herself. Peels it out as she gets down to the right block. And will set the offense back up top. Under 3.5 to go in the first half. Reagan Kramer lofts it inside. Janasia Anderson, who just had a 3-point play, has to fight through contact again. Partial block on the shot. It misses everything, and it's hauled in by the Wildcats. Carly Stuckey gets a pass into the front court on the left wing. Now Hayden will slow things down, up by 2. Cruz finds Schmidtline, who has had an active first half. Back to Cruz, ball above her head, looking to pass first. Now she puts the ball on the ground and dribble. Left hand, she has a lane inside, gets to the left block, wants to shoot. She does, but we've got to travel first. Shot actually went up and in, a little scoop shot from behind the backboard almost by Cruz. She will sub out Jill Leonard into the game. Callie Moore also heads in. With 2 minutes, 59 seconds left in the first half, Seaman trailing by 2, now has the ball with a chance to tie or take the lead, sprinting from left to right as you listen into the forecourt. Reagan Kramer controls the dribble once again before finding Taylor Stahlbommer. Leads the Vikings with 4 points. Drive and dish into the left corner. 3-point up. Way short. Missed by Karsten Anderson. And it's the Wildcats with the rebound. 2:40 on the clock. Across midcourt, it's Jill Leonard, the freshman, to the right. Free throw line extended, and Husher now back to Leonard. Leonard dribbles to the left, around the arc, parallel to the 3-point line. Now we'll find Carly Stuckey with a skip pass from left to right. Stuckey now sends it into the left corner. Quick passing around the perimeter. Leonard gets it left wing. Chance at a 3. Misses it high off the backboard. And the rebound by the Vikings. 2:17 on the clock. Seaman still down by 2. Wild pass up across the timeline, and we've got a foul called on the loose ball. It is a foul on Janasia Anderson of Seaman. Came in late trying to dive at the ball. Ended up essentially tackling a Wildcat, and there's where the penalty comes into play. Riley Cowan will take a seat. 2:13 to go here in the first half. As the Wildcats move into the front court. Leonard controls it for Hayden. Starts inside, back things up with the basketball. One high bounce pass from a short distance to Carly Stuckey. Stuckey gives it back to Leonard. Freshman controlling things here. Husher back to Leonard, left lane. Leonard looking. Goes to the short corner left, and Callie Moore now back to the top, and Leonard. Wildcats throwing it all the way around. Overhead passes from each part of the arc, and eventually the ball is poked away, but maintained by Hayden. Great play by Janasia Anderson to get in the way, but the Wildcats maintain it with 100 seconds to go in the first half. Checked inside to Sandstrom, left elbow, now into the left corner. Wildcats trying to work it around. Great ball movement, eventually leads to a driving lane for Carly Stuckey, who's fouled as she goes to the cup. 1:32 left in this second quarter. That foul is again on Janasia Anderson. That's 2 quick ones for the senior post for Seaman. Stuckey puts up her first free throw. High arcing shot, hits the back of the rim and bounces out, no good. Cowan back into the game, as is Schumann for Seaman. Pulling Karsten and Janasia Anderson. Avery Grunnert back into this one for Hayden. Stuckey gets ready with number 2, takes something off this one. It bounces off the rim and eventually falls through the hole good. So a 3-point advantage for the Wildcats after the made free throw by Carly Stuckey. She's got 4 points for the contest. First time these two teams met back in December, 4 days before Christmas. It was a 1-point win for Hayden, 37-36. This one's shaping up in a very similar way. As Reagan Kramer starts with the ball, passes quickly to the left block. Shot is up, missed by Brooklyn Gormley. The stick back, though, also falls out. A foul is called on that one, though. Foul that time is called on Lauren Sandstrom for Hayden. It's a shooting foul. It would have been 1-1 if it was on the floor, but it will be 2 instead. First one up by Brooklyn Gormley. Didn't get quite enough mustard on that one. Hits the front of the iron and ends up short, no good. Minute 18 to go in the second quarter. 3-point lead for Hayden. Gormley trying to cut it to 2, and with the second free throw, she's not able to do so. It went halfway down, bounced off the backboard and out. Wildcats with the rebound as the clock hits 1 minute, 12 seconds and counting until the halftime break. Noelia Cruz controls it, setting up the offense. Fakes going to the left, will go to the right instead, into the right corner to Ren Calhoun. Her pass to the baseline and more is knocked out. Last touch by Cowan, out of bounds off of Seaman. 1 minute, 4 seconds now showing on the clock. Cruz will inbound. Cruz stands just 5'1". Nobody guarding the inbounder. Shoots it into the left corner and Grunner. Grunner passes back to the top and Lauren Sandstrom. 1 minute to play in the first half. 3-point lead for the Wildcats to maintain the ball. Carly Stuckey gets an open look from the left corner. Too strong. And a weak side rebound pulled in by Reagan Kramer. 5'5" point guard Kramer among the trees hauls in that rebound. And now Seaman can set things up. Riley Cowan at the free throw line. Turns around, drives, kick into the right corner. Three-pointer up and knocked down by Taylon Stahlbummer. She's got 7 points in the game, all of them here in this quarter, and we're all tied up at 15 apiece, 33 seconds on the clock. Hayden can hold for 1. Cruz holding it, waiting for some motion. Gets 2 screens on the outside. Stuckey quickly underneath after the pass, gives 1 more and finds Sandstrom. Stuckey now gets it back left wing, throws it left corner short, and Callie Moore. Moore throws it back across the court. It's intercepted by Reagan Kramer. Kramer on the drive, 12 seconds on the clock. Gets to the basket, tough shot, and it just bounces out off the far end of the rim. The rebound is put back up by Gormley, and Gormley will head down to the ground after getting bumped. That's a foul against the Wildcats. 5 seconds flat as Gormley goes to the line. Now we've got a discussion on the court just about what happened here. Travel, foul. It was initially ruled a foul. And it is indeed a personal foul against a Hayden Wildcat. More specifically, it's on Lauren Sandstrom. 9 team fouls for Hayden. That won't mean too much in all likelihood with just 5 seconds on the clock. Gormley will go to the strike. Brooklyn puts up the first free throw. This one bounces off the front of the iron and eventually falls through. Gormley now with 3 points, all at the free throw line, and the Seaman Vikings for the first time today have a lead at 16-15. Right before the half. Second one up by Gormley. This one once again hits the front of the rim and bounces through. 4 points now for Gormley. 5 seconds on the clock. 2-point lead for the Vikings. Cruz into the front court. 3 seconds showing. Up to Sandstrom. Sandstrom heaves at the horn, and she misses this one off target to the right, and that will take us to halftime. A low-scoring game, but a fun one so far in North Topeka. The Seaman Vikings trailing for almost the entirety of the first half go into the break with a 2-point lead, 17-15 over the Hayden Wildcats. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back on the other side of this break, we will get you the individual scores from the first half of tonight's game, get you some scores from around the area, and we'll get you the keys to the second half of our game and preview the boys' game coming up in the second half of our doubleheader tonight. That's all coming up next on halftime coverage of the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader on 580 WIBW.
80 acres Marion County land auction Tuesday morning, March 2nd, 10 o'clock. Marion County Lake Hall, Marion, Kansas. Howard L. and Beth Cole at Lefty Realty and Auction, lefty.com. East of Marion, 67 acres cultivated cropland, 13 acres waterways. Draw with trees, old farmstead. Good addition to existing farm or great opportunity for land investment. Cropland ready for planting. Draw with trees. This included hunting spot with deer. Good gravel road near main highway. 80 acres Marion County land auction March 2nd. Marion Lake Hall, lefty.com.
I have a grandson in 8th grade, and we have already been discussing the possibilities of colleges. How much will it cost, and how do we save? We look at Envista College.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
I have a junior, Hope, and a freshman, Cordell, and it feels like we're looking at InvistaCollegeRoadmap.com every single week. We want to know how much to budget for, but we also want to help our kids consider what schools really fit their career ambitions so they can make the best investment in their education while being realistic about the cost.
Envista makes it easy. The Envista College
8 seconds.
comparing schools, discovering scholarships, finding ways to pay for college, and more. Even better, it's free. Learn more at InvistaCollegeRoadmap.com. Insured by NCUA.
If you're getting ready for any big game or any big event, stop by and pick up everything you need to root on your team at your Topeka Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee sponsoring sports coverage on 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9. Welcome back to the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader on 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9. Brendan Dworzynski with you. Halftime wrapping up 17-15. The Seaman Lady Vikings with a 2-point advantage over the rival Hayden Lady Wildcats. A competitive first half despite not having many points on either side of the ledger. As we get ready for the second half of action, the two teams will switch ends. It will be Hayden now moving from left to right as you listen, and the Lady Wildcats will start the third quarter with possession. Both teams come out with their original starters: Cruz, Calhoun, Moore, Stuckey, and Schmidtline for Hayden as they inbound the ball. Kramer, the two Andersons, Cowan, and Stahlbomber for Seaman. Ren Calhoun immediately touches the ball in the left block in the first possession of the second half, and she's fouled, turning around to the basket, and she'll get 2 free throws just 11 seconds into the third period. It's Janasia Anderson who is whistled for the foul, her third personal, first of the second half on Seaman, just 11 seconds in. And the first free throw, a little side spin on it, and it's knocked down by Calhoun. Her 5th point of the evening, cuts it down to a 1-point game. Calhoun had 4 in the first half, averages 11 a contest. Bounces the ball with both hands 3 times, puts up the second free throw. This one is silky smooth and true. 6 points now for Calhoun, and we are all knotted up, 17 apiece. Just 11 seconds into the third quarter. Inbounded to Reagan Kramer. Kramer gives to Riley Cowan, trying to break a press. Hayden applies the pressure, and once the ball gets into the front court, it's stolen away by Jill Leonard. Leonard, who just checked into the game after the free throw, turns it over immediately, going in the other direction. Seaman with a steal this time. Reagan Kramer into the front court, crossing the divider. Crosses the ball between her legs, and now the Seaman Vikings will nearly turn it over. Bad pass along the sideline, saved back in by Stuckey of Hayden, but it's saved to the backcourt. Closest one there is Karsten Anderson. Anderson still holding onto the ball. To Janasia Anderson at the top of the circle. Puts her head down, looking to drive. Left hand pass outside to Riley Cowan. Short 2 from the left baseline. This one bounces around the rim and out. Rebounded by the Wildcats. Ren Calhoun averages 9 rebounds along with her 11 points. Gets the board that time. Wildcats trying to work down low quickly. They do. Calhoun has her shot partially blocked. Janasia Anderson making a play on defense, and the Vikings are going the other way. Kramer, right-hand dribble. The future Arkansas Razorback into the right corner, and Taylon Stahlbomber, leading scorer in the game so far with 7 points. Cowan now to Kramer, and once again, Stahlbomber has it just inside the right corner to Cowan on the right block. Back out, Janasia Anderson takes a long 2, and Anderson lines him up and knocks him down. 5 points for Janasia Anderson. Vikings back on top, 19-17. Minute and a half gone in the third quarter. Noelia Cruz into the front courts. Moving from left to right to Stuckey in the left corner, back to Cruz and out to Calhoun. Working inside, puts the ball under, tries a little scoop shot with the left hand, and she's fouled again. 6:22 to play in the third. And once again, the foul on Janasia Anderson. That is her second foul of the third quarter, her 4th of the ball game. She has played a stellar game so far, but she will have to head to the bench after the first free throw snaps the cords for Ren Calhoun. 3 points here in the period for the senior post Calhoun. She's got 7 for the game, tying the game high. Down to a 1-point contest as Calhoun gets ready for number 2, puts up the high arc this time, hits the side of the rim, bounces out long to the right side. Seaman with the rebound. Good job by Cowan to haul that one in. She'll give to Kramer, and the Vikings will set things up, leading by 1. Kramer controlling the dribble, angles into the left corner, will peel it back out and go to Stahlbomber at the top of the key. Now Karsten Anderson. Anderson drives underneath, tries a bounce pass inside to Cowan, and the ball is poked away, and a foul called against Cowan, diving back for the ball. So for Riley, that's her 3rd now. and the third team foul of the second half on Seaman. We have not played a full 2 minutes of this third quarter, and already 3 team fouls against the Vikings. Carson Anderson gets a breather for the Lady Vikes as Cruz runs the point for Hayden. Sees a lane, will sprint up ahead near the right elbow, kick it back outside to Stuckey. Back to Cruz, she whips it underneath for Calhoun. Calhoun working the block again, this time no foul as she goes through contact. Misses her hook shot short, hits the front of the rim. Seaman with the board. Kramer into the front court. Right-hand dribble all the way, gets the Vikings insignia on the court here at Viking Gymnasium. Finds Brooklyn Gormley, who's into the game for Janasia Anderson. She now moves down to the left block as the ball is whipped around on the outside perimeter. Stahlbomber has it, ball above her head, whipping it all the way around, finds Gormley at the top. Now to J.C. Seaman. Seaman kicks it outside to Reagan. Kramer puts up a three, misses everything off to the right-hand side. Rebound is tipped out of play. Last touched by the Vikings, and it will go over to the Wildcats. 5:23 showing on the clock in this third quarter. 19-18, Seaman with the advantage. As Cruz will take the ball across the Viking head logo and the midcourt divider. With the right, Cruz gets another lane. Drive, stops to the right block, kicks it outside, a little drive and pitch. And Reagan Kramer is the last one to touch a pass that was too hot to handle. I was trying to say she was not the last one to get a finger on it, but she does not get the call. Riley Schmidt line to inbound, looks into the right corner, will throw back to Cruz at the top instead when the first option is closed off. Cruz again, hops inside the arc, passes right back outside. Three-pointer up, and kaboom! It's once again Ren Calhoun. Calhoun with 6 points here in the third quarter alone, 21-19. The Wildcats back on top by 2. At the top for Brooklyn Gormley, now into the left corner. Taylor Stahlbomber wants to create, gets cut off on the drive along the left baseline. We'll have to peel things back out and go to Seaman. Seaman with the right, finds Reagan Kramer. Kramer now with the drive. She gets cut off on the right baseline. Now to Gormley, just off the right elbow, puts up a shot, rims all the way around, hits the backboard, and then will go back through. Nice shot by Gormley there. She's got 6 points. She's averaging 6 a game over the last month and a half. She's hit that mark. With 4:23 to go, we're all knotted up at 21 here in the third period. Cruz with the right, checked by Seaman. Switches to the left hand, gets bumped. No foul called. She'll pitch to Schmidt line. Schmidt line wants to penetrate, doesn't get the option. To Stuckey at the top, now to Cruz. Hoists up a three-pointer from the left wing, bounces off the rim, comes back to the strong side. Forward hauled in by Seaman. Kramer will dribble as we hit the halfway mark of the third period. We've got a whistle and a timeout called on the Seaman sideline by head coach Matt Tinsley. It's a full timeout. We'll take it with them. 3:59 to go in the third quarter. We're all tied up at 21 apiece between Hayden and Seaman on the Envista Credit Union Game of the Week on 580 WIBW.
My name is Dale Pazinski, and this is how I live United. I volunteer with United Way, helping the homeless in my community by teaching computer skills and helping them build a basic resume to save on their very own USB drive. It's huge when somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Your Topeka Zoo is open and needs your assistance in supporting daily operations. At topekazoo.org, you'll find an assortment of opportunities to show your love for the zoo. This includes a chance to make monthly membership payments of just $9.99. The zoo is extending all memberships, and now you have the opportunity to visit 10 seconds. Do you want for just $9.99 a month? Visit the membership section on topekazoo.org for more information on how to show some love for your Topeka Zoo.
Back after the Seaman timeout on the Envista Credit Union Game of the Week doubleheader. Seaman with the ball, moving from right to left as you listen. Reagan Kramer with the dribble has it poked away out of bounds by Jill Leonard. Seaman will maintain it, inbounding from the far sideline. That's the right-hand side of the court. Seaman to trigger, throws it deep for Reagan Kramer. It goes into the back court. Legal play and play on for both sides. Kramer running the point. Angles to the right. Stops at the free throw line extended way off to the right on the Viking insignia. Now to Taylor Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber, who had 7 points in the first half. The lead all scorers at the break, goes down low to the left block, and Riley Cowan, wild shot with the hook. It's no good, but she gets her own rebound. It dumps to Seaman. Seaman driving inside, gets through a pile of defenders, and gets the teardrop to fall. J.C. Seaman, her first 2 points of the night. 23-21, Seaman back on top by 2, 3:22 on the clock, and the Wildcats turn it over immediately in the front court. Leonard was aiming for Schmidt line in the right corner, but her pass was off target and turned over. Seaman inbound. Three-quarter court pressure flashed by the Wildcats. Reagan Kramer will dribble up as most of the pressure sags off except for Leonard, who stays with her all the way across the timeline. Kramer reverses course as she wades out by the volleyball line. Staggers in front of the line, will stop and just will lob it over to Taylor Stahlbomber, who's being checked by Lauren Sandstrom. Now back to Kramer. Kramer wants to pass, doesn't get an option to the left. She'll go back to the right to Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber now to the top and Riley Cowan. Cowan finds Seaman to Reagan Kramer left wing. Kramer looks, dumps it off to Cowan. Cowan to Seaman. Quick passing all the way around. Dumped inside to Brooklyn Gormley. Gormley fighting through traffic is fouled as she tries going to the basket from the right block. Physical play by Gormley, who has played some quality basketball here this evening. Ren Calhoun, the guilty party that time on the foul. That's the first for the Wildcats in the second half, but the third personal on Calhoun. First free throw up by Gormley. Bounces off the rim twice, but it falls through anyway. Gormley now with 7 points. That's a common number for these two teams. 24-21, three-point advantage for Seaman. 2:44 on the clock as Gormley gets ready for number 2. Puts this one up. This one, once again, bounces off the rim. That's been the tendency for her, but it works out anyway. She knocks it down. 25-21, 4-point lead for the Vikes, biggest of the game, and we've got a timeout called by the Hayden Wildcats sideline. 2:39 to go in the third quarter. Carvel Reynoldsson needs a timeout. It's a full. We'll take it with them. 25-21, Seaman leads on the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week on 580 WIBW.
Ready to create your own income with your own home-based business where there's no such thing as getting laid off? If a billionaire entrepreneur spent 5 years and $20 million searching for the next big trend, wouldn't you want to know what he found? If you're serious about making money from home without having to leave home, then write this down. www.goherenext.com. You decide your income. Get the facts now. Goherenext.com.
I get asked about college a lot. Where will I go? What will I do? How much will it cost? I couldn't even figure out where to start. My aunt told me about InvistaCollegeRoadmap.com. I used the cost and compare calculator to see what in-state or out-of-state schools I could go to. My aunt keeps sending me to the scholar. Everything is in one place.
Switch to Prepared with Envista College Roadmap. Visit InvistaCollegeRoadmap.com to find out more.
Insured by NCUA.
Wildcats inbound after the timeout, trailing by 4, but holding on to the ball. Carly Stuckey hauls in a wild pass, dumps it off to the right corner. Shot is up, no good by Lauren Sandstrom. Offensive rebound, though, by Anguiano for Hayden. She just subbed back into the game for the first time in this third quarter, and she will head to the free throw line after the foul underneath. That one on Brooklyn Gormley. That's her first. The fourth now on the Vikings with 2:26 left in the third. Anguiano puts up the free throw, hits the front of the iron, and no good. Anguiano still looking for her first point. She had 5 against Junction City on Tuesday evening in a victory. Second free throw comes. This time Anguiano is true. So Anguiano does get into the scorebook. 3-point game, 25-22. Now the lead for the Seaman Vikings. Riley Cowan will trigger in, finds Reagan Kramer. The ball is poked away by Jill Leonard. Excellent play by the freshman guard to get that one away from Kramer, who's got to stretch out the fingers a little bit after getting him jammed on the ball. Cowan will inbound again. This time can't run the baseline, though. Looking, will find Kramer, who gets around the press, fights for some positioning, and will bring it up court across the divider. Up ahead to J.C. Seaman. Seaman stops now to Kramer, who will set things up, playing traffic cop back near midcourt. Waiting for the play to come in. We'll find Cowan. Cowan underneath the Brooklyn Gormley. Gormley, turnaround, quick shot from the right-hand spin, misses it, and it's rebounded by the Wildcats. Hayden trailing by 3. 2 minutes to go in the third period. Cruz finds Husher, back to Cruz at the top of the circle. Now controlling the dribble, it's Leonard between the rings. Will dump it for Stuckey, who tries to trail Leonard, throws it underneath to Husher, and Husher's not able to hold on to the ball. That was a firm pass that time, and it just went through Husher's hands. Minute 51 showing in this period. Seaman up by 3. Hayden continues to press, bringing it at three-quarters court. Vikings are able to break it. Up ahead to Taylor Stahlbommer. Stahlbommer drives to the left block, will peel things out, set it back up to Kramer. Kramer, who has run the point throughout the entirety of the ball game this evening. Left wing and Seaman. Now Seaman, short corner left to Stahlbommer. Stahlbommer, crossover dribble, starts right, goes back to the left, gets cut off, and will have to set things back up for the offense. Under a minute and a half to go in the third. Now Riley Cowan at the top. Defenders all over her. Has to find Stahlbomber. Quick pass to her left. Is Reagan Kramer. Free throw line extended left. Now back to the top. Brooklyn Gormley hoists up a three and knocks it down from the top of the key. Brooklyn Gormley, what a quarter. 7 points for the freshman. 28-22. Seaman with the advantage. 65 seconds left in the quarter. Cruz has it. Lofts it left corner. Now back to the top and Husher. Husher drives and will travel as she heads back to the top of the circle. Changed her mind midway through the possession and commits the violation. Anguiano and Leonard will sit down for Hayden. As the Vikings start the possession, clock winding down under a minute to go. Approaching 50 seconds to go in the third. Reagan Kramer races up ahead, swings it into the right corner. Talon Stahlbomber, who will go back to Kramer to set things up again. To Cowan at the top of the key. Defense right on top of her is Husher, but Husher loses position as Cowan drives. Dumps it off for Gormley. Back outside to Cowan. Puts up the two from the free throw line. Hits the back of the iron and hauled in on the rebound by Hayden. Wildcats have 33 seconds to work with, trailing by 6. Biggest deficit of the game that Hayden has faced. Right corner, Husher. Takes a dribble to her left, tries throwing it inside to Ren Calhoun, who gets it, puts up the shot, and gets fouled in the process. Ren Calhoun feasting underneath in this contest this evening. That foul again on Gormley, her second, the 5th against the Vikes with 24 and a half seconds to go in the third quarter. The first free throw is as pretty as it gets. Calhoun dropping it right through the net. 28-23, 5-point game. Second free throw up by Calhoun, and this one is pure as well. An 8-point quarter for Ren Calhoun. She has 8 of the 9 points scored in the period by Hayden. 5 of those have come at the free throw line. Inbounded to Reagan Kramer, 22 seconds to work with and counting. Races up ahead to the midcourt stripe, stops on a dime, and will now set up the offense. We're down to 15 seconds to play in the third. Talon Stahlbomber has it back by the jump circle at midcourt. Down to 10 seconds now. Stahlbomber trying to create separation. Crossover from left right. She'll drive just inside the arc. Kick it on back. Lauren Sweeney puts up the three, and the bank is open as she knocks it down right before the horn. What a momentum swing for the Seaman Vikings heading into the fourth quarter. 31-24, Seaman the advantage over Hayden. We'll head to the fourth after this. You're listening to the Envista Credit Union Game of the Week doubleheader on 580 WIBW.
Dear Daddy, dear Mom, I love you. I miss you.
I'm proud to call you my father.
Every year, Snowball Express honors the children of our fallen military, heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Orlando. Did you know that more than 8,500 children have lost a parent in military service since 9/11? Our soldiers died fighting for our freedom, and their children, they continue to suffer loss. Join me in proudly supporting Snowball Express, a nonprofit charity that creates opportunities to help heal the children of our fallen heroes. Their year-long efforts culminate in a special week of fun, friendship, hope. We can never fully express the gratitude for the ultimate sacrifice our soldiers have
Chris,
made.
fade it out and bring it to me.
All right. Please, will you join me? Donate now.
Welcome back to the Envista Credit Union Game of the Week doubleheader on 580 WIBW Topeka. We start the fourth quarter. Seaman Vikings with the ball and a 7-point lead, 31-24. A Lauren Sweeney three right before the horn at the end of the third quarter extended this lead to the biggest of the game for Seaman. Vikings trying to extend it again, and Reagan Kramer does that, burying a three from the left wing. Kramer now with 6 points on the contest, 34-24, a 10-point advantage for Seaman. Cruz with the ball for Hayden. First possession of this fourth quarter, trying to look for some sort of offense. She'll drive along the right side of the paint, has to dump it off underneath short corner right for Husher. Husher now to Sandstrom at the top. Pass inside into traffic by Sandstrom is poked away and stolen away by Seaman. 7:17 to play. Vikings with their biggest lead of the game at 10 points, 34-24. Reagan Kramer wants a three again from the left wing. Fakes it, will drive, puts up the mid-range two. This time the weak side rebound is hauled in after the miss by Lauren Sandstrom. Pressed by Riley Cowan full court. Sandstrom is able to get it away to Cruz, though. 1 minute gone in the fourth. 34-24. Low-scoring game, points at a premium. Hayden needs to find a few quickly. To the top, and Cruz now will flip it over to her right, and Sandstrom. Sandstrom drives, kicks back out. Carly Stuckey launches a three, too strong, misses everything. Rebound on the weak side by Seaman. Hauled in by Taylon Stahlbomber. She hurries across into the front court and will slow things down there. 6:37 to go. Cowan now has the ball, top of the key to Kramer, who switches the pass out to her left, and Taylon Stahlbomber, who drives along the left baseline, gets cut off again. Will throw it back to the top, but not before a travel is committed by the freshman Stahlbomber. And her head coach, Matt Tinsley, telling her to go up strong with that one instead of hesitating and pulling back out. J.C. Schumann heads out for Seaman, giving some quality minutes. Karsten Anderson is back in. Callie Moore into the game for Hayden. Taking out Husher. 6:27 to go, 10-point game. Hayden with the ball, trailing by double figures for the first time. Needing to find an offensive spark here soon. First game these two teams faced off, it was 37-36. Hayden with the advantage. Seaman trying to even this thing up, home and home, and a turnover by the Wildcats. Another pass inside. Those passes down to the block have been a little bit of a bugaboo for Hayden in this contest. Another turnover for the Wildcats, 6:16 to play. Kramer takes the inbound full court pressure this time from the Wildcats. Kramer will loft a pass up ahead to Karsten Anderson. Anderson along the right-hand sideline, drives, has to stop, peel back, and then from outside the arc, will throw it underneath to Brooklyn Gormley. Gormley has a shot. Not sure if it was partially blocked or she just left it way short. It's rebounded by Hayden. And Riley Cowan on the rebound attempt commits a foul. That is the fourth on the senior Cowan, the sixth on Seaman. Hayden has committed just one foul in this second half with exactly 6 minutes to go. 10-point game, and we have a whistle and a timeout called by Carvel Reynoldsson. Pardon me, that was actually called by Matt Tinsley of Seaman. It's a 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. 5:56 to go in this contest. 10-point lead for the Seaman Vikings. Luther Place is professionally managed by Heritage Management Corporation. If you're looking for a senior living community for anyone 62 and older or mobility impaired, check out Luther Place at www.lutherplace.net. A low-scoring game. We knew it would be, 34-24, but the last two baskets, a pair of three-pointers, one at the very end of the third quarter, knocked down by Lauren Sweeney. Then, the only point so far in this fourth quarter, a three-pointer by Reagan Kramer, who's now got 2 3-point field goals on the day, extended this to the biggest lead of the game for Seaman. Vikings just 4-9 on the season with a 10-point advantage over the 7-7 Wildcats. Hayden, though, trying to answer here, trailing by double figures. Carly Stuckey, penetrating pitch, kicks it out to the right wing, three-pointer up, lips all the way around the rim and out. Rebounded by the Vikings, hauled in by Cowan. Senior forward playing with 4 fouls as we approach 5 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the contest. Seaman can be delivered here with the offense up by 10. Karsten Anderson nearly gets fouled, loses the ball, gets it back, will pass to the right, now to the top, and Kramer. Kramer swinging the ball around by her hips, will flip it to the right corner, and Taylon Stahlbomber now around the perimeter, back to Reagan Kramer, free throw line extended left, finds Gormley at the top of the key, now Stuckey checking Taylon Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber tries to drive. Sutter step inside, has to pull back, and give to Kramer once again. 5:10 to play. Vikings taking plenty of time off the clock here. Pass inside to the cutter. Taylon Stahlbomber getting to the basket. Shot blocked from behind. Matt Tinsley and Seaman wanted a foul called. They don't get one. Referees letting them play underneath right now. Under 5 to play. 34-24. Hayden with the ball. Hayden loses the ball. A steal by the Vikings. And a foul in transition called quickly against Carly Stuckey. 4:53 to go. Probably a smart foul that time by Stuckey. It's just her first, the second against Hayden. Didn't want to give up an easy transition basket. Karsten Anderson inbounds, finds Reagan Kramer, has to lob it over the top of Jill Lenner, and Kramer will give to Taylon Stahlbomber, who now controls the offense with a right-hand dribble before firing a pass into the right corner. That's where Karsten Anderson has it, looking underneath for Brooklyn Gormley. Pass a little bit low. Gormley can't hang on to it, and Callie Moore comes up with a steal, ripping it away from Gormley underneath the basket. Wildcats trying to run. 4.5 to play, down by 10. To the top and Ren Calhoun. Calhoun to her left, another pass left into the corner for Lauren Sandstrom. Sandstrom, ball above her head, picking up the dribble, throw short corner left, and Callie Moore. Moore looking, dumps underneath for Ren Calhoun, backing in on Gormley, turns around, puts up the layup, and she is fouled once again. And again, it's Gormley. That is the third time she has committed a foul in this half. The 7th against Seaman. So it's free throws the rest of the way for the Wildcats with 4:15 to go. First free throw is up, and this one's knocked down by Ren Calhoun. Calhoun with 13 points. She is the game's leading scorer. Had 8 in the third quarter. Second free throw coming now for Calhoun. She gets ready, puts up this one, and she's able to knock that one down as well. So Ren Calhoun make that 14 points. And it's an 8-point ball game, 34-26, and we've got a timeout called by the Seaman Vikings. It's a full one. We'll take our last timeout. 34-26, Seaman with the advantage on the Envista Credit Union Game of the Week doubleheader on 580 WIBW.
Brucey, and this is how I live United.
Okay.
I read to children as part of United Way's
Chris,
education
stick with
program.
just this 30-second one, okay?
Create links between language
All right.
and prepares them for a better academic future. I figure I have the time and they have the need. My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give.
5 seconds.
Volunteer. Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
4:15 to play in the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader. Game 1 tonight, the girls' game between the Hayden Wildcats and the Seaman Vikings. Seaman with an 8-point lead, 34-26. Just over half of the final period to go. It will be Vikings ball after a timeout called by Matt Tinsley for Seaman. 7 fouls against the Vikings, just 2 against Hayden. Now that does become significant because if the Wildcats need to foul to try to extend the game, it'll take them a while. Ball inbounded. Reagan Kramer gets a second pass, will sprint across the divider, controlling the ball, swings the pass to the free throw line, extended right. Karsten Anderson. Anderson with the drive. Her floater is no good. Misses the rim with it over the top of the basket. And it's hauled in by the Hayden Wildcats. Wildcats quickly up court to Riley Schmidtline. Schmidtline starts on the right block, will back it into the right corner. Pass underneath for Anguiano, who can't hold on to the ball, but it's last touched by a Viking out of bounds with 3:52 to go. So we are now more than halfway through the fourth quarter, 8-point contest. Schmidtline to the bench. Carly Stuckey got a momentary breather, but she's right back in. Anguiano to trigger in to the left of the basket. Slaps the ball. Looking, takes up plenty of time, throws it inside. Ball is poked away. Anguiano gets it back, but she had a foot on the baseline. That's a turnover and a tough break for the Wildcats. 1 second off the clock on that play. 3:51 and counting now as the ball is inbounded to the freshman Taylon Stahlbummer. Stahlbummer, full sprint into the forecourt from right to left as you listen. Top of the key, Riley Cowan playing with 4 fouls. Guarded very closely by Callie Moore. Cowan keeps the dribble with the right, drives inside, pushes it back out to Taylon Stahlbummer. Stahlbummer, low dribble, picks it back up, has it poked away by Cruz. We're down to 3.5 minutes to play. Now it's Stuckey who picks her up by midcourt, and she'll pass to the left, and J.C. Schumann. Schumann underneath to Gormley, but the ball bounces off of Gormley's hand, out of her possession, stolen by the Wildcats. Hayden trying to run, down 34-26, 3:15 and counting to go. Cruz tries dumping it off, back out to Sandstrom, loses the handle. It's stolen by Seaman. Again, Stahlbummer handling things, and she'll throw it back to the top at Reagan Kramer, who will run the offense. Kramer angles left, switches directions, back to the right, passes in that same way, and finds Cowan. Cowan now to Gormley, and we've got a whistle. And 1 whistle for a timeout, 1 whistle for a foul, and they will grant the timeout to the Seaman bench. 2:57 to go in this one. It's a full timeout, but we will keep it right here with you on 580 WIBW. It has been a very exciting, very entertaining, and a high-energy game so far between Hayden and Seaman. The total score may not reflect that. We have just 60 points total in this game with under 3 minutes to play, 2:57 to be exact. Seaman trying to exact some revenge after the first time these two teams met back on December 21st when Hayden picked up a 37-36 win. That game had just 73 total points. So these two teams like to play it low. Hayden on the year averaging under 50 by a hair. Seaman averaging just a hair over 39 a contest. But Matt Tinsley thinks his Vikings have hit their stride or are in the process of hitting it here. Meanwhile, for the Hayden Wildcats, who have played a very solid game defensively, you hold anyone to 34 points through 29 minutes of action, you've done something very solid, but the offense hasn't quite been there for Coach Carvel Reynolds' team. It's Karsten Anderson to inbound from the far sideline, finds Reagan Kramer back near midcourt in the right-hand corner. She'll find Stahlbummer, and now the offense can set up for Seaman, 2:50 and counting as the clock continues to wind. Back to Kramer to Stahlbummer. Passing it back and forth by the volleyball line. Now it's Karsten Anderson who gets involved, and Anderson is fouled. Gets bumped about 40 feet from the basket. Just the third team foul, though, also the third personal on Sandstrom. So still plenty of fouls to go before we hit free throw territory for the Vikings. Inbounded to Stahlbomber, streaking from right to left as you listen into the front court. Trying to keep the dribble away from a defender, Cruz. She's back by midcourt. Carly Stuckey has to come up and commit the foul. Cruz did a good job nearly poking the ball away, but just wasn't quite able to get enough of her hand on it. So for Stuckey, her second, fourth team foul on Hayden, 2:35 to go. Wildcats will continue their attempt to extend this game. Callie Moore defending the inbounder. Cowan, who passed it back to Kramer, starting in the backcourt. Gets across the divider with the right. Switches hands behind her back. Now has to pick up her dribble with Leonard right on top of her. Dumps for Stahlbomber. And Stahlbomber is tapped from behind by Carly Stuckey. Back-to-back fouls on the leading scorer for Hayden this season, Stuckey, who's been held to just 4 points, all of which came in the first half. 2:25 to go. 5 team fouls for Hayden. So the Wildcats still need to foul 2 more times to get Seaman into the bonus. Kramer has it backcourt. Leonard on top of her. Flips the pass into the front court. And Talon Stahlbomber, who gets some separation with a nifty dribbling move to get away from Stuckey. And it's passed over to Karsten Anderson, who holds onto the ball, gets fouled. And now that is 16 fouls on Hayden. That one called on Sandstrom, her fourth. She had 5 points all in the first quarter. She got 1 more to work with. Inbounded to Reagan Kramer in the backcourt. Gets away from Leonard. Passes to her right. Once again finds Karsten Anderson. And Anderson is fouled once again at a Sandstrom. And that'll do it for Sandstrom's night. 17 fouls on Hayden. 2:09 to play. Sandstrom, number 5, finishes with 5 points and just picked up her 5th foul. And it sends Karsten Anderson to the line, averaging just a shade under 4 points a contest. Has not scored tonight. You can change that here. Takes a bunch of dribbles with the right hand, picks it back up, pauses, puts at the first end of the 1-and-1, and is able to knock this one through. Perfect shot that time by Karsten Anderson. 35-26, back to a 9-point game. Anderson with number 2, lifts her heels off the ground and is able to get this one to bounce off the rim and in. Anderson takes the seat. J.C. Seaman, into the game. Sophomore guard replacing sophomore guard. We are nearing the 2-minute mark to go in this one. 10-point lead for the Seaman Vikings. Open look for Riley Schmidtline. Puts up a 3, too strong off the heel, but an offensive rebound by Hayden. It's Leonard who gets it, and the putback is good. Timeout Wildcats. Minute 53 to go. A great job on the putback that time by Leonard. Her first 2 points of the contest. 36-28. These teams trading baskets, or at least trading points at this juncture. We now have 1 minute and 53 seconds to go. Hayden right around the middle of the table in the Centennial League standings this year. A battle of behemoths at the top of the standings between Washburn Rural and Topeka High tonight. The Seaman Vikings, meanwhile, 4-9 on the season, 4-6 in Centennial League play, and Matt Tinsley, head coach of the Lady Vikes, really likes where his team is. Carmel Reynoldston has said the same thing and addressed that same thing during our pregame show this evening. Said that he really likes what he has seen from his team, really likes the way that his team has fought and has persevered after their previous leading scorer, Macy Smith, had her season come to a close due to a knee injury. And by the way, an update on that big-time battle between Topeka High and Washburn Rural. It is Topeka High with a 2-point lead, 55-53. That game has a minute left in overtime. Still a minute 50 to go in this one. 8-point lead for Seaman. Vikings hurrying it across the divider. And Seaman's able to do so as Reagan Kramer sets things up, passes once, gets the ball back, and finds Talon Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber back near midcourt. Carly Stuckey doesn't want to foul. She's got 3 already. Back to Reagan Kramer. Kramer sprinting around. Stuckey can't foul her. Stahlbomber now with the ball. 90 seconds left to play. Stahlbomber loses focus for just a second. And an effort there by Husher to come up and try to knock the ball away. But she ends up committing the foul instead. Minute 29 to go in this one. For Husher, that is her second, the 8th now against the Wildcats. And it sends Talon Stahlbomber to the line. 7 points tonight for Stahlbomber. Averages 10 per contest. All 7 of hers came in the second quarter. And 12 points on Tuesday night's win against Junction City Casino. puts up the first end of the 1-and-1 and knocks it down. Make that 8 points for Stahlbomber, who has made a major impact for a very young Vikings team. Second free throw comes. This one is up, and this one is pure as well. 9 points for Stahlbomber. 38-28, 10-point lead for Seaman. Wildcats need an answer quickly. Nearly turned over. Saved along the sideline by Riley Schmidtline. Leonard has it, running all the way around the arc. Stops, throws it into the left corner. Down to a minute 15 to play. 10-point contest. Callie Moore left block. Dumps it for Schmidtline underneath. Shot is up. Maybe have been partially blocked from behind. No foul called. And on the rebound, we've got a foul called against Schmidtline. It was Kramer who was able to grab the rebound. And Kramer will head to the charity stripe. 6 points on the contest for Kramer. Averages about 6 a game. Had 6 on Tuesday. And on the first free throw of a potential pair, she earns the second half of the bonus with a nothing but net shot from the charity stripe. That's now 5 straight points at the free throw line for Seaman. Kramer with number 2 puts this one up, leaves it short. 9-point game, an 11-point game. But Janasia Anderson gets the rebound back into the game with 4 fouls. Now the Vikings can set things back up near midcourt. 2-player game between Kramer and Stahlbomber, just passing back and forth. But a lazy pass is stolen away by Carly Stuckey. In transition, gets fouled as she flies to the basket. That'll be a 1-and-1 shooting foul with 55 seconds to go in the ballgame. Heady play that time by Carly Stuckey. First foul on Reagan Kramer in transition. That's the 8th against Seaman. J.C. Schumann out. Karsten Anderson in, playing offense-defense here for Seaman as Stuckey heads to the line. 1-and-1 for Carly. First shot is up. Beautiful backspin on the shot, and it falls through the hole good. 5 points for Stuckey tonight. 10-point game once again. Stuckey can knock it down to single digits with a make here. Bends the knees, bends the elbows, puts the second one up. This one spins around the net a little bit and will be good as well. 9-point game, 39-30. As Stuckey tacks on 2 points. A couple substitutions to get some players without foul trouble into the game for Carvel, Reynolds, and Hayden. Ball inbounded to Reagan. Kramer is batted away by Leonard. That's a couple of times in this game that Jill Leonard has broken up an inbounds pass. 0.6 of a second go off the clock. Still over 54 to play. Riley Cowan inbounds, finds Kramer. Kramer, little hook pass over the top, finds Taylor Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber turns on the Jets, gets into the front court, nearly loses the dribble, picks it back up, finds Kramer, and once again, the 2-player passing game. Stahlbomber throws it right corner for Cowan. Cowan throws it all the way back out near midcourt to Kramer. What a tremendous job by Seaman to burn off the clock. We're down to 36 and a half seconds to play. The Vikings are going back to the line. Foul that time on Stuckey, her 4th. That is 10 fouls against the Wildcats. Double bonus the rest of the way with 36 and a half seconds left. It's Taylor Stahlbomber to the charity stripe. Five dribbles with the ball. Puts the first free throw up. Double bonus automatically this time, and Stahlbomber will go into the second one after a make on the first. 40-30. 10-point advantage for Seaman. Stahlbomber gets ready for number 2. Bouncing the ball over and over. Quick shot, quick trigger with the wrist, and she's able to get that one as well. So good job by Stahlbomber. She's up to 11 points, 41-30, 32 seconds and counting as Hayden moves it into the front court. Quick free up by Jill Leonard, missed. Rebound by Reagan Kramer. She passes to Stahlbomber, and Stahlbomber is fouled. Racing up the court, it's on Carly Stuckey. That's her 5th. And that will do it for her evening. Stuckey finishes this one with 6 points, had 4 in the first half, added a pair of free throws in this quarter. And her final foul will send Taylor Stahlbomber back to the line and a chance for 2 more freebies. 23 seconds to play. Stahlbomber gets ready. The freshman's first shot tickles the twine and is good. 12 points now for Stahlbomber, the last 5 to the free throw line here in this period. Second one up, and this one is good by Taylor as well. 6 points on free throws now in this quarter. 43-30, down to 20 seconds, and the clock continues to wind. Hayden needs some offense here quickly, trailing by 13. Good find underneath. It's Reagan Husher who's wide open on the right block, gets a pass and finishes, and we've got a traveling call on Reagan Kramer, trying to work around Leonard along the baseline. navigating the baseline itself and is called for a travel. 11 seconds flat to go, 43-32. Lead for the Vikings, who will improve to 5-9 on the season. Inbound is thrown deep to Husher, way outside the arc. Passes left to Cruz. Cruz drives inside, puts up the floater. This one too strong off the rim. Gets the rebound back. Swatted away at the last second by Reagan Kramer, who holds on to the ball, has it poked away out of bounds. But we're down to less than 1 second to play. Great defensive set right there by Kramer. Inbounder is defended. Ball's passed into Talon Stahlbomber, and this one is over. The Seaman Lady Vikings, 43. The Lady Wildcats from Hayden, 32. Hayden falls to 7-8 on the season, while Seaman improves to 5-9, and the series is split between these two longtime Highway 75 rivals in the Centennial League. With that, we will head to our mid-game show. We will get you the individual scores, our player of the game, I should say, and we will also get you ready for Game 2 tonight, what should be a phenomenal boys game between the boys from Seaman and the boys from Hayden. That's coming up in 2 minutes. You're listening to coverage of the Envista Credit Union Game of the Week doubleheader on 580 WIBW.
Even though we don't know what life has in store for our homes or our autos, we can prepare. Introducing the Damage Doesn't Have to Be Too Damaging policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Contact me, Brad Noller, agent, 785-273-7502, or stop by 3620 Southwest Fairlawn Road, Suite 230 today.
Wendy's is dropping the hammer with 2 made-to-order breakfast sandwiches for just $4. So if you've been wronged by pre-made breakfast and their frozen folded eggs and rubbery
3810 4030 tractors. John Deere S660 SPS Combine. Mac-On 30-foot flex draper head. Grain cart. 10 seconds. Ag items, trucks, trailers, bulldozer, hay equipment, planting, tillage, irrigation. Wood and wood farm auction is scheduled Saturday morning, February 13th, west of Manhattan. Line Realty and Auction.com.
Welcome back to the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader. Brendan Dworzinski with you in North Topeka at Viking Gymnasium. Game 2 of our doubleheader tonight. The Seaman Vikings hosting the Hayden Wildcats. Let's get you the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for the visiting Wildcats from Hayden, Giovanni Williams, leading scorer for the Wildcats, 13.8 points per game on the season, along with junior Jake Muller, Trent Duffy, another junior, Trey Pivarnik, the future Washburn Ichabod football player, as well as center Joe Otting with 14 points on Tuesday night against Junction City. As for the home team, Seaman Vikings, it's Ty Henry, Dagan Brewer, Kaysen Stahlbomber who will get the start, along with Micah Kobachevsky and post Aaron Davis. The Hayden Wildcats will start with the ball. No tip-off due to COVID-19 protocols, so Hayden will start inbounding from the far sideline, moving from right to left across your radio dial. Wildcats wearing their road navy blue uniforms. White letters, white numbers, gold trim around each of those and around the uniforms as well. Home whites with red numbers and red letters, plus red striping on the shorts for the Seaman Vikings. Giovanni Williams will inbound, passes it in to Jake Muller, and we are underway at Viking Gymnasium, Game 2 of tonight's Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader. In the hands of Trent Duffy on the left wing, passes inside to Trey Pivarnik, who will dump it off for Joe Otting, who had a big night just the other night, has his shot rejected from behind. It's Ty Henry with the early swat. 15 seconds into the contest, and the Seaman Vikings are trying to put the pressure on right away. Henry takes it inside, will dump it back outside to Aaron Davis. Davis doesn't do a whole lot outside the perimeter. He'll drive with it. Left-hand scoop shot. Isn't able to get it to fall in off the backboard. No good. Rebound for the Wildcats. 30 seconds gone in this first quarter. Hayden working it down to Joe Otting once again on offense. At 14 points on Tuesday. Now it's Trey Pivarnik in the lane. Will swing it back to Giovanni Williams. Pops a three. It goes halfway down and out. No good. Rebound is tipped out of bounds. Last touch by a Viking. So the Wildcats will maintain possession. 7:16 on the clock here in the opening period. Giovanni Williams will trigger it in. Stanchion to his left. As Muller waiting in the corner will loft it back to the free throw line, and Otting, however. Otting wants to pass left. Eventually will dump it to his left, and Muller. Muller to his right, and Duffy. Duffy goes underneath for Pivarnik, and this pass is tipped out of bounds by Kaysen Stahlbomber. Once again, an inbound coming for Hayden. This time, Giovanni Williams is standing to the left of the basket. Launches it into Muller. Now to Duffy. Has it left wing. Spins back to the middle. Floater up in the lane, and it is no good. Aaron Davis with the rebound for Seaman. A minute gone in the opening period. No score yet in this one. Vikings on offense. Ty Henry, above his head, leading scorer for the Vikings. Passes back to Micah Kobachevsky. Kobachevsky averaging about 6 points per game in the season. Little pitch to Aaron Davis. Davis now into the left corner, and Kaysen Stahlbomber. Right-hand dribble into the lane. Stops to pick it up. Throws it to Davis in the right corner. Slides his dribble back to the left. Back into the middle. Now Henry. Ty Henry wants the three. Puts it down. Takes the three instead. And he swished it home the second time he shows it. First 3 points of the game. It's Ty Henry knocking down a three-pointer just off center from the top of the key. 6:27 to go here in the first quarter. 3-0 Seaman with the lead. And quickly, the Wildcats working to Joe Otting. Has a shot blocked, but he tips the rebound back out. Wildcats keep the ball. Again inside to Joe Otting, and he's fouled going with the scoop shot on the left-hand side of the rim. Foul called against Kaysen Stahlbomber of Seaman, the first foul of the contest so far. Joe Otting to shoot. Averages 9 points, 6.5 rebounds per game. Tosses the ball 3 times, puts up the free throw. It's silky smooth and in. First point of the game for the Wildcats belongs to Otting, who has really come on strong here over the last couple of weeks. Takes a deep breath, shrugs his shoulders, gets ready for number 2. Puts this one up. This time it rattles around the inside of the rim, but that doesn't matter because it's good anyway. 3-2, 6:17 and counting now for Seaman after the inbounds. Ty Henry, left-hand dribble into the front court, moving left to right. Switches hands with the right, drive and pitch in the right corner. Kobachevsky wanted the three, circling the ball around his head. Now he'll drive with the left hand. Stops, turns around. Aaron Davis gets a screen underneath. Mid-range 2, knocked down by Stahlbomber. Gets wide open, gets the screen along the baseline, and has a clear shot at the basket. 5-2. Lead for Seaman. Just over 2 minutes gone in the first quarter. Giovanni Williams rifles a pass underneath to Otting on the left block. Has it swatted away again. This time it's Aaron Davis with it. Ball is on the ground after it's saved in bounds, though. And we've got a whistle and a tie-up on the floor. Seaman will get the ball. That's a great play by Otting to dive after the ball and try to keep it alive after he had his shot blocked from behind. The offensive strategy is obvious here for Hayden, and the defensive strategy is as well for Seaman. 5:36 on the clock in the first. Aaron Davis tees up a long two, and he's able to bury one just off the left elbow. Aaron Davis with 2 points, 7-2 now, a 5-point advantage for the Vikings, their biggest early on here, less than 3 minutes into the game. Left corner in the hands of Jake Muller, dribbles to his right, will go to that direction with a pass. Now back to the left corner, three-pointer up for Muller, and he drains it from the left corner with an open look. Jake Muller burying the three-pointer, 5:09 left in the opening stanza. 7-5 the lead for the Seaman Vikings. Aaron Davis at the top of the circle, gives to Kason Stahlbomber right wing. Angled back toward the middle by Stahlbomber, has the ball poked away, stolen away by Joe Otting. He'll give to Trey Pivarnik, who is left without a point guard in the backcourt. Eventually, Muller comes back and retrieves the ball, taking it across the divider, moving from right to left. Trent Duffy, ball over his head, trying to pump Kovačevski into the air, is able to do so and finds Joe Otting just inside the arc top of the key. Ball back into the left corner, and it's Duffy out of the top. Javonte Williams pops the three. This one too strong off the heel. Long rebound hauled in by Joe Otting, though. He's been a busy man so far. Top of the key in the hands of Duffy, now to Pivarnik. And now they work it inside to Joe Otting. Otting has it right block, crow hop inside, and he traveled. Contact at the end of the play, but a traveling call first with 4:28 left in the opening period. Mateo Hyman checking into the game, coming off the bench, averaging just a shade under 12 points per contest. And he will run the point here to start this possession. Ty Henry moves to more of an off-ball role. Seaman still playing without Caden Bonner, who's dealing with a lower leg injury as Hyman gets inside, kicks it into the left corner, and Stahlbomber picks up the dribble, now back in that same direction to Aaron Davis. Davis drives to the left elbow, swings it out to Micah Kovačevski, free throw line extended right. Thinks about a drive to the right, instead fakes a three, now will dribble all the way to the left and around the arc. It's down to the left block, it's cut off, has to swing it out back to Kason Stahlbomber. Halfway through the first quarter now, and Stahlbomber with an overhead pass, too hot to handle for Aaron Davis in the corner. It's off his hands and out of bounds. Hayden will take over. Trent Duffy inbounds to Jake Muller. Muller on the year, averaging about 8.5 points a game, had 6 in the win on Tuesday night. Finds Trent Duffy, now goes to Trey Pivarnik just off the free throw line, passes underneath to Otting, ball's tipped away. Otting gets it back, and he's able to finish through contact off the right side of the window. Joe Otting with 4 early points, and this game is all tied up at 7 apiece, 3:40 on the clock in the first. Mateo Hyman, crossover dribble, swings it behind his back, gets inside, will pitch it back to Ty Henry, though. Henry gets his drive cut off, goes to Kovačevski, right corner. Kovačevski now setting up the offense. Trent Duffy on defense. Kovačevski looking at the basket, no look pass to his right, finds Mateo Hyman. Hyman, dribbling between the legs, now switches left only, crossover, spin move, may have picked up the ball. No whistle, though, as Hyman gets into the middle of the lane. Swings back to Kason Stahlbomber. Inside, he tries creating contact. It's a blocking foul underneath against Hayden. Stahlbomber put his head down, knew exactly what he was doing that time, and it's a foul on Otting, his first on the Wildcats in general. With 3:13 on the clock. In a tie game, 7 apiece, but Stahlbomber has a chance to put the Vikings back on top. On the season, Kason Stahlbomber averaging 6 points a game. His first free throw is up, and it is nothing but net. 3 points now for Stahlbomber in the early going as Aaron Davis and Micah Kovačevski will take a break. Brody Gormley and Dagan Brewer into the game. Stahlbomber gets ready for number 2, puts it up high, arcing shot. This one too strong, hits the back heel, rebound fought for. It's a loose ball. Brody Gormley nearly came up with it. It's still loose. Dagan Brewer has it. Ty Henry back to the basket, gets the hoop, and gets the horn with a chance at one more. Ty Henry flying in at the end of the play, gets the ball off a quick touch pass, puts in the floater, gets bumped, does it all, and gets a chance at a three-point play. Free throw is up by Henry, leaves it a little bit short, but gets the members bounce at home off the front. 11-7, 4-point lead for the Seaman Vikings here with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. On a cut, Trent Duffy getting to the basket. Pressure comes, and it's Ty Henry again. Access denied. That is 3 block shots in this first quarter for Seaman. Duffy to inbound, basket to his right, triggering in from the baseline. Lofts it deep for Trey Pivarnik at the right elbow. Stahlbomber's the closest defender. 2-star football players for these 2 respective programs as well. Pivarnik spins inside, right hand is up, too strong, misses the shot off the back heel, rebound by the Vikings. Seaman trying to hurry up. Hyman across the timeline finds Henry. Henry along the baseline, kicks right corner, 3 for Stahlbomber, bullseye! Lots of quick action. Kason Stahlbomber is already at his season average of 6 points here in this first quarter, 14-7. Seaman doubling up Hayden early. Drive inside. Trey Pivarnik trying to get to the basket. Switches from left to right in air. Isn't able to get the ball to fall through the hole, however. Seaman with another rebound. 2:18 showing up by 7. Mateo Hyman driving inside through 4 different Wildcat defenders. Misses the shot. Tried to get the rebound, but it's hauled in by Kalen Rice, who's in off the bench in replace of Joe Otting. Rice had a huge game on Tuesday against Junction City. 11 points and a pair of threes. Pass inside. It was Duffy looking for Rice down low. And the entry pass swatted away and stolen by Brody Gormley. Seaman going the other way. Ty Henry. His team up by 7. Kicks into the right corner. Stall Bummer doesn't take the 3 this time. Will back it out outside the arc to find Henry. Henry drives, gets his man to fall down, and finishes. Scoop, there it is. Ty Henry. The reverse layup from the right baseline finishes off the left side of the glass, and Torrey Head needs a timeout for Hayden. 100 seconds even to go here in the first quarter. Seaman leads 16-7. It's a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it right here. Sports on 580 WIBW are brought to you by Blue Dot of Kansas. Buy any qualifying train system and get a Remy Air Purifier for free up to a $900 value, and get a free 1-year Blue plan with finance options of up to 18 months with no interest available. Blue Dot of Kansas. Check them out online at bluedotkansas.com. Ty Henry is the leading scorer on the season for the Seaman Vikings, averaging just a shade under 13 points a game. Call it 12.9 to be exact. Well, in this first quarter, he's already got 8. He's got half of the Seaman scoring output, and with 1:40 on the clock, the Vikings are up by 9 early. Into the front court, it's Jake Muller moving from right to left across your radio dial. Finds Joe Otting, who's back into the game. Patrick Gorman checking in for the first time, touches the ball, swings it over to his left immediately. Giovanni Williams now controlling it. Starts left corner, brings it back near the middle. Now he reverses course, drives inside, and we've got a pushing foul underneath on the Vikes. That one is called on Brody Gormley, the reserve big man. That's his first, the second team foul against the Vikings. Giovanni Williams to pass the ball in. Really just a 7-man rotation for Hayden, and both backups are in the game right now in both Rice and Gorman. Open look for Giovanni Williams, left corner, pulls it back down, drives instead, and he has the artistic finish at the hole. Goes with the left, switches to the right, finishes off the window, and good. First 2 points for Giovanni Williams, 16-9, minute 12 on the clock. Ty Henry trying to answer quickly for Seaman, and we've got a whistle and a foul on the floor. It's Kalen Rice who commits the violation. Third team foul against Hayden. No shot on the play by Henry. Inbound coming from Dagan Brewer, shoots it way deep. Brady Stewie into the game for the first time, catches the inbound pass and gives it to Gormley, who's way beyond the arc. No one even comes out to cover him. He's not shooting the 3, so he'll dump it off for Brewer, now to Mateo Hyman. Hyman finds Ty Henry. Thinks about going left on the arc, spins back to the right, dumps it off underneath for Gormley. Gormley up top through contact, and he's fouled. The shot goes begging, but he'll get a chance at 2 points anyway at the free throw line. A lot of contact for both of these teams. That's a significant foul on Joe Otting. That is his second here in the first quarter. 54 seconds to go in the period. As the first free throw by Gormley is up, bounces off the rim, off the square, and back through. First point of the game for Brody Gormley, the 6'6" junior center. Averages just about 2 points a game on the season. Has extended the lead back to 8. Make it 9 with the second free throw. This one too strong, but again, the friendly bounce for the Vikings. Everything going right for Craig Cox's group so far. 18-9 after the pair of free throws are knocked down by Brody Gormley. Now the Hayden offense setting up in the front court. Controlling the ball is Jake Muller. Dumps it off for Gorman, and now Kalen Rice. Seaman doing a good job not allowing anything easy inside so far defensively. Hayden still trying to find that offensive spark, trailing by 9. Patrick Gorman is fouled by Brody Gormley at the three-point arc. Left-hand dribble, was trying to work around the lane on the drive, and Gormley bumps into him. He'll have to head to the bench, and Aaron Davis is back in. That's 2 on Gormley, 3 on Seaman as a collective. Clock now down to 30 seconds and counting after the inbound, controlled by Jake Muller. The junior point guard goes to Giovanni Williams. Thought about taking a 30-foot 3. Will pull it back instead. He really wanted that one. He'll stutter step and shuffle his dribble slightly to the left, give it off to Muller once again, down to 15 seconds to count. Muller, jab step, backs things up, past the volleyball line, getting near midcourt. Now he's on top of the Viking head logo. We're down to 9 seconds. Muller, spinning around a pick from Pivarnik, down to 6, finds Kalen Rice, drives along the right baseline, 3 on the clock, puts off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Dagan Brewer, who kind of does a Derek Jeter throw at the basket. It's no good, and that will end our first quarter of play. The Seaman Vikings 18, the Hayden Wildcats with 9. We'll be back after this on the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader on 580 WIBW.
Class, instead of history, let's talk about your future. For many of you, that includes college. Like I told my own kids, the Envista College Roadmap provides you with the tools and resources to help reach your college goals. It'll guide you through finding your true cost of college, comparing schools, discovering scholarships, financial awards, and lots more. To open your browser, go online to InvistaCollegeRoadmap.com. It's easy and it's free.
Visit InvistaCollegeRoadmap.com to find out more.
Insured by NCUA. 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9. Now making news on Facebook. Make sure to follow us on Facebook for the latest on awesome promotions and contests, plus community events making news now. And we'll give you some insider information on special offers and deals from our partners to help save. Button for 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9 on Facebook, where Facebook gets its news now.
Start of the second quarter at Viking Gymnasium. Welcome back to the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader. Brendan Dworzinski with you. And immediately after the inbound by Hayden to start the second quarter, it's tipped out of bounds. Last touch by a Wildcat, so Seaman takes over. Already up 18-9 as we begin the second period here in North Topeka. Mateo Hyman with the ball into the right corner. Micah Kobachevsky now back to Hyman at the top. Ty Henry was the star of that first half. He's got the ball right now. First quarter, pardon me. He'll pass to the left corner. And Brady Stewie. Now back to Ty Henry. 35th in the basket, left corner again. Two-man game on the left side of the court. Mateo Hyman gets a skip pass into the right corner. It's Micah Kobachevsky burying the three-pointer wide open from the right corner. Kobachevsky on the board for the first time tonight. 21-9. A lead for the Seaman Vikings, who with the win will get back to 500 on the year at 8-8. Patrick Gorman controls the ball in the right corner, brings it back near the top at the free throw line. Lazy pass over across the middle, stolen by Mateo Hyman. Hyman in transition, finishes softly with the right hand off the window. The soft kiss from Hyman. His first 2 points, 23-9, a 14-point lead for Seaman, the Vikings' biggest of the game. Just over a minute gone in the second quarter. Kalen Rice drive, has a lane on the right side of the paint, and he's able to finish. He has become an effective offensive player over these last couple of games, especially, adding a much-needed spark for the Hayden offense off the bench. 23-11, now a 12-point lead for Seaman. Vikings have the ball again. Aaron Davis, left elbow, back to Ty Henry. Henry wants to go into the left corner. Instead, Hyman at the left wing. He shoots pass underneath, looking for Aaron Davis. His last touch out of bounds by Trey Pivarnik. So Seaman will keep it. Stewie, he will head out. Jason Stahlbomber back into the game. Stahlbomber had a nice first quarter with 6 points, tying his season average. Kobachevsky inbounds left corner, Aaron Davis, who will throw it to Ty Henry at the top. Now two-man game between the rings for Henry and Hyman. Kobachevsky gets involved now. Back to Hyman at the top. Throws it over. Kobachevsky wanted the three from the free throw line, extended right. Will give to Aaron Davis instead. Has to feel the dribble out. Kobachevsky ball above his head. Now Mateo Hyman will reset the offense. 6:15 to go until halftime. 12-point lead for Seaman. Stahlbomber wants to pass underneath. Has to pass on the outside to Ty Henry instead. Zone defense here. A 3-2 defense. Leaves an open look for Kobachevsky. Another three from the right corner. This one, though, isn't able to fall. Hits the rim, bounces out, and it's Hayden to clean up the boards. Wildcats going the other way. Ball into the right corner, and Kalen Rice. Rice looking to get around Jason Stahlbomber. Will throw to Giovanni Williams at the top. Followed about another 28-foot three. Pulls it back down, and we'll let Trey Pivarnik handle things. Now back to Giovanni Williams. Free throw line extended left. Williams. Hurry inside. Passes along the baseline. Finds Pivarnik. Now back to the top. Three-pointer up for Duffy. Side spin on this one. Hits the side of the rim and rebounded long by the Vikings and Ty Henry. Henry trying to push the pace the other way. 5:35 on the clock. Mike's already up 12. Shovel pass out to Mateo Hyman. Way too strong on the three. Hits the backside of the backboard on the right-hand side of the court, and it rebounded off the miss by the Wildcats. Hayden will slow things down just a little bit. Trey Pivarnik drives backwards, trying to force his way in on Aaron Davis. Will pass back to Kalen Rice instead. Free throw line extended left. Now to the top. And Duffy. Around the horn into the right corner for Pivarnik. No look pass back to the top. Three-pointer up this time for Jake Muller. Too strong again. And another rebound on the weak side by the Seaman defense. 5 minutes to go until the halftime break. 12-point lead for Seaman. Kick back to the left wing. It's Ty Henry. Henry with the dribble. 8 points so far in this one. Now to Kobachevsky, right wing. Quickly into the right corner. On the touch pass to Stahlbomber. Skips it back to the top, and Henry. Now Mateo Hyman. Into the left corner. Micah Kobachevsky was open. Doesn't take the three. Will pass it instead. Gets it back. He is given a little bit of space by Giovanni Williams, but he'll keep passing it, and he'll camp out in that left corner as Mateo Hyman and Ty Henry will reset the offense. 4:35 showing now until halftime. Seaman on offense. Hyman holding it to Kobacheski. Zone defense. Rotating all the way around. Aaron Davis has it now. Left block kicked back to Kobacheski. This 3-2 zone, and we've got a timeout called by Craig Cox as the defense completely smothered anything that Seaman was trying to run. 4:19 to go in the second period. 23-11. Seaman with the advantage as we head into this 32nd timeout. Sell your home today with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, First Realtors in Topeka. Berkshire Hathaway presenting sports on 580 WIBW Topeka. An impressive start to this game offensively for the Seaman Vikings, who averaged 56 points a contest. They've got 23 here with just over half of the second quarter to go, led by an 8-point effort so far from Ty Henry, but it has been a group effort. 6 different Vikings in the scorebook so far, 4 for the Hayden Wildcats, but they've only mustered 2 points so far in the first 3 minutes and 41 seconds of this second quarter. That has been an issue for Hayden this year, trying to find guys to reliably score consistently. It was Otting on Tuesday night. Wildcats may need someone to step up into that big scoring role here this evening. Keep this one close. 23-11. Mateo Hyman off the inbound, drives inside, has his shot swatted away, but a foul comes as well. His hand was whacked as he went to the cup. Kalen Rice called for his second personal. Been a pretty clean game for the most part in this second quarter. That's 5 team fouls on Hayden as Hyman will go to the line. First one up by Hyman. This one rattles through. So for Mateo Hyman, 3 points for him all in this quarter. Averages 11.7 a game. He's a 71% free throw shooter. 1 for 1 so far today, so that will go up a negligible amount for now. Getting ready for number 2. Second one up by Hyman. This one bounces off the back of the rim and in. That is 3 different times for Seaman in this game that could have been an unfortunate bounce off the iron, ended up helping out the Vikes. 14-point lead for Seaman. Trent Duffy gets to the paint inside the right elbow, passes back outside. Now they work inside, outside in, inside out, and the Hayden Wildcats were able to score with Joe Otting getting an open look from the right block. Otting now up to 6 points, 25-13. It's a 12-point deficit once again as Mateo Hyman tries to drive, gets to the right block, has to stop. He gets cut off on the drive. Will pass back to Henry. Henry between the wings, playing traffic cop, back outside the arc, trying to run the offense, dumps it off for Casey Stahlbomber, floating across the middle. His shot doesn't have quite enough touch, but the offensive rebound is tipped back out. Stahlbomber controls it. Vikings keep the ball. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Henry thought about the 3. Will dump for Aaron Davis instead. Now right corner, Casey Stahlbomber for 3. Got it! Casey Stahlbomber lighting it up. His second 3-pointer of the contest. 28-13. 3:15 and counting left here in this first half. 15-point advantage for the Vikings, their biggest of the game. Giovanni Williams on the drive is fouled. He was trying to shoot the ball. They called a foul on the ground. That one is on Casey Stahlbomber, his second. That's the 4th team foul called against Seaman. And Stahlbomber will head to the bench. Micah Kobacheski back in. Giovanni Williams will trigger the ball in, standing to the right side of the basket. Looking low, will throw high. It's Joe Otting who retrieves it 5 feet off the top of the circle. He'll dump it to his left and Jake Muller. Muller now trying to create some offense, goes to his right. And now a pass to Giovanni Williams. Free throw line extended right. He's trying to create now. Gets inside of the lane, gets cut off by Kobacheski. Retries the drive, puts up a floater, misses it about a foot short, and the rebound is hauled in by Seaman. And we've got a whistle and a stoppage of play as Ty Henry heads over to the sideline, looking a little bit woozy. He will take a seat, replaced immediately by Brady Stewie. 2:52 to go in the first half, 28-13. Henry, who's got 8 points to lead all scorers, needs to get him over. Giovanni Williams also gets a break for Hayden. Wildcats come out with Duffy, Muller, Pivarnik, Otting, and Rice. Aaron Davis has it in the lane, spins it back outside. Hyman no look into the right corner. Brady Stewie still a zone defense look from Hayden. 2-3 zone this time. Left corner, Kobacheski. Kobacheski and Dagan Brewer passing it back and forth. Now Mateo Hyman tries leaping for a ball. It's over his head, stolen away by Hayden. Deal for the Wildcats, and Jake Muller takes it up as a 3-point arc. Now to Otting. Has an open look for 3. He is able to lure Davis outside. Davis doesn't jump for it. Hayden has to try driving again instead. It's Trent Duffy this time penetrating. He misses the layup, and Seaman clears the boards. 2:15 on the clock, 15-point game. Brady Stewart. Drive. Skips it across from the left corner to the right wing. Now they work it inside to the right block. And Aaron Davis, he sends it out to Hyman. Touch pass into the left corner. Brady Stewie for three. Buries it. An aerial assault this time from the Seaman Vikings. The three-pointer in by Brady Stewie. His first 3 points of the game. 31-13, an 18-point lead, and now a turnover for a travel called on Hayden. Nothing really going right for the Wildcats on the offensive end of the floor. In this period, a 13-4 advantage for Seaman. Kobachevsky inbounds after the turnover, gives to Mateo Hyman. Hyman switching his dribble between hands as he crosses the Viking head logo at midcourt. Now angles a dribble off to the left. Will stop, toss it back to Stewie at the top. Who angles one to Kobachevsky, and now into the left corner, Mateo Hyman. Thought about a three, trying to get Pivarnik to jump. He doesn't do so, so Hyman drives instead. His shot rejected by Kalen Rice, and then a foul as the ball is being picked up. Rice was shoved down to the ground. A block party for each of these two teams. Now a minute 32 to go in this first half. Substitution in for Hayden. Wildcats going a little bit deeper on the bench this time. It's Peyton Bartlett, junior guard, into the game for the first time, as the Wildcats look for some sort of offensive spark. Also into the game, a couple different players in, and the drive by Pivarnik, taking advantage of some spacing on the floor, is able to finish at the glass for two. 31-15. Now a 16-point lead for Seaman as the Vikings move into the front court from left to right. Minute 10 to go in the first half. Mateo Hyman dribbles behind the back, switches hands, now inside. Stops, spins around, will throw it back to Dagan Brewer on the drive. He tries a scoop shot. It's partially blocked, loses it, and it's last touched by a Viking going out of bounds. Exactly 1 minute left in the first half as the Wildcats move into the front court. The other player I meant to mention, Ryan Rochford, onto the court for the first time for Hayden. Once again, a drive inside by Pivarnik. This time he pulls up, takes a mid-range two, and isn't able to knock it down. So now the Vikings into the front court, 42 seconds to go, can do pretty much whatever they want with the clock right here as Brady Stewie gets inside, starts left, goes back to the right, and finishes softly off the rim. 33-15. Brady Stewie with an offensive surge right here. He's got 5 quick points, 18-point lead for the Vikes. Inside, as the ball is worked in that direction, and Seaman comes away with another steal. Hayden just all out of sorts on the offensive end. They're looking a little bit fatigued. They've had to run the court plenty here in the early going. Mateo Hyman dribbling back inside the jump circle, down to 10 seconds and counting. Left-hand dribble trying to get around Jake Muller, down to 7 seconds, now down to 6 seconds. And a foul way away from the basket. Muller didn't think he had done any sort of violating, but he is whistled nonetheless. That is the 6th against Hayden, and there are 4.8 seconds on the clock. And now they're going to change the call. It's actually a 5-second call that is ruled. Well, that is significant then. So it stays 5 fouls. Still none on Muller. 4.8 seconds to go. Muller gets the inbound, crosses the divider, gets up court, launches a three, and it's blocked again. This time, Aaron Davis with the rejection. And we head into halftime, an 18-point lead for the Seaman Vikings, 33-15 as we go into the break. After this 2-minute timeout, we will come back with the recap from the first half, get you the scoring totals, our individual leaders, and we'll take a look at some scores from around the area as well. We'll take a 2-minute break. We're back after this on the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader on 580 WIBW.
Woodinwood Farm Retirement Auction, Saturday morning, February 13th, 11 o'clock, west of Manhattan, Kansas. Line Realty Auction.com. Auction will be conducted as scheduled. Please dress warm. Complete line, good farm machinery. John Deere 6170R, 7330, 7810, 4030 tractors. John Deere S660 STS combine. Macon 30-foot flex draper head. Grain cart, augers, precision ag items, trucks, trailers, bulldozer, hay equipment, planting, tillage, irrigation. Wood Farm Auction is scheduled Saturday morning, February 13th, west of Manhattan. Line Realty and Auction.com.
My name is Tom Thornton.
And my name is Cindy Thornton. We're retired, and this is how we live united.
We decided to volunteer with United Way at our community free health clinic.
United Way is how we contribute, because we know our time and money are going to the right places.
Judging by the thank yous we get at the clinic, I'd say we're doing the right thing with our retirement, too. We're Tom and Cindy Thornton. We volunteer at our community free health clinic. We don't just wear the shirt.
We live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Class, instead of history, let's talk about your future. For many of you, that includes college. Like I told my own kids, the Envista College Roadmap provides you with the tools and resources to help reach your college goals. It'll guide you to finding your true cost of college, comparing schools, discovering scholarships, financial awards, and lots more. To open your browser, go online to InvistaCollegeRoadmap.com. It's easy and it's free.
Visit InvistaCollegeRoadmap.com to find out more.
Insured by NCUA. 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9. Now making news on Facebook. Make sure to follow us on Facebook for the latest on awesome promotions and contests, plus community events making news now. And we'll give you some insider information on special offers and deals from our partners to help save you some money. Like button for 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9 on Facebook, where Facebook gets its news now.
Welcome back to the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader on 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9. Brendan Dworzinski with you at Viking Gymnasium. At halftime, Seaman with a 33-15 lead over the Hayden Wildcats in this rivalry contest. And Seaman has led almost wire to wire in this one. Hayden has come back to knot things up a couple of times, but the Wildcats just have not been able to get in any sort of flow offensively. Joe Otting leading the way scoring for Hayden so far in this one. He's got 6 points, one of 5 different Hayden players to get in the scorebook. 3 points for Jake Muller, hit an early three-pointer, then 2 points apiece for Giovanni Williams, Trey Pivarnik, and off the bench for Kalen Rice. On the other side for the Seaman Vikings, it's Kaysen Stahlbaumer who's leading the pack. He's got 9 points, has knocked down a pair of three-pointers. 8 points for Ty Henry. All of those came in the first quarter. He had to leave the game about midway through the second. Was looking a little bit woozy as he headed off to the sideline. Not sure what his status will be for the second half. Those two are 2 of 7 players for Seaman who have scored so far. 5 points for Brady Stewie, 4 for Mateo Hyman, another 3 for Mike Kopachevsky, and 2 apiece for Aaron Davis and for Brody Gormley. Let's take a look at some scores from around the area. If you are at a game tonight, make sure, or you know anyone at a game for that matter, let us know what the score is at your contest. Go on Twitter and use hashtag 580preps to let us know. The big game of the day so far in girls action at the top of the Centennial League. Topeka High in overtime edges out Washburn Rural 59-53. The winning streak stays alive for Topeka High, and they have 2 nail-biting wins this year over the Washburn Rural Junior Blues. In other games from around the area, girls action, Riverside knocks off Perry Lecompton 56-45. Overtime in Lawrence, Free State and Lansing 68 apiece. High-scoring game in that one. The Royal Valley boys taking on Nemaha Central. Nemaha Central with a 24-21 win in that game, or lead in that game so far. Final in girls action at Topeka West. Another low-scoring one. Junction City 39, the Topeka West girls 35. They put up quite a fight, just could not quite pull off the victory. Manhattan and Emporia going head-to-head in Centennial League action. It is Emporia with a win in girls play, 42-36. Rock Creek in a boys game beats St. Mary's 63-44. And again, if you are at a game tonight, let us know on Twitter. Use hashtag 580preps. And for continually updating scores from around our area, go check out 580preps.com. We'll take another break. When we come back, get you keys to the second half of this one and a recap from the first game of the evening, the girls' game between Seaman and Hayden. That's coming up next on the halftime coverage of the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week on 580 WIBW.
I get asked about college a lot. Where will I go? What will I do? How much will it cost? I couldn't even figure out where to start. My aunt told me about InvistaCollegeRoadmap.com. I used the cost and compare calculator to see what in-state or out-of-state schools I could go to. My aunt keeps sending me to the scholarship page, and everything is in one place.
Switch to Prepared with Envista College Roadmap. Visit InvistaCollegeRoadmap.com to find out more.
Insured by NCUA.
Thought-provoking. Government, I think, is starting to realize that people are really focusing on what they're doing, and that's a good thing.
And worth staying up for.
We've had plenty of science confirming the ET presence for a long time.
Coast to Coast AM.
I got a spooky story for you. Didn't walk or run away, it floated away.
Encounters with creatures. There were 3. I'm into ghost light.
The show that makes you say,
What's overnights on 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9.
We're back on the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader. Brendan Dworzinski with you in North Topeka. Chris Huff is our producer engineer back at the 580 studios on Huntoon Hill. At the break, the Seaman Vikings with a 33-15 lead over the Hayden Wildcats in boys action. Orbis Corporation in Osage City is hiring, and you can see a full list of positions at www.orbiscorporation.com. Join a team that makes a difference. Presenting sports on 580 WIBW. Earlier on tonight, the Seaman Lady Vikings knocked off the Hayden Lady Wildcats 43-32. So each team in that rivalry has won their home game in that series this season. An impressive game scoring the ball for freshman Taylon Stahlbomber. Had 13 points, 7 in the second quarter, 6 in the fourth quarter, and those final 6 all came at the free throw line, 11 points as well in the victory, coming off the bench for Brooklyn Gormley. On the other side for Hayden, the game's leading scorer, Ren Calhoun. She had 14 points in the losing effort. The Lady Wildcats now 7-8 on the year. Seaman improves their record to 5-9. Back here in our game again, an 18-point lead for the Seaman Vikings over the Hayden Wildcats. And if you're looking at Hayden and what the Wildcats approach should be in this second half, it largely comes down to someone has to be able to contribute scoring here at a reasonable clip. You've got 5 different players who have tallied points so far in this game. The maximum, Joe Otting, he's got 6. Everybody else has just one made field goal in this contest. 2 twos and a 3 by Rice, Williams, and Muller. Someone else has to step up and take some of the scoring pressure off, knock down some shots. Those can be volatile, but Hayden's got to find someone who can score the ball. On the other side, for the Seaman Vikings, continue working the ball to the hot hand. Early on, it was Ty Henry. It was a really good first half for Kaysen Stahlbomber as well. Just continued to get the ball to the guys who can do the most damage for you offensively, the guys who are on a roll, and this Seaman offense should continue to roll as well. We'll take one more timeout when we come back on the other side of this break. Second half action at the break. Seaman leads Hayden 33-15. We're back after this. You're listening to the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week on 580 WIBW.
Even though we don't know what life has in store for our homes or our autos, we can prepare. Introducing the damage doesn't have to be too damaging policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. For details, contact me, Brad Noller, agent, 785-273-7502, or stop by 3620 Southwest Fairlawn Road, Suite 230 today.
Wendy's is dropping the hammer with 2 made-to-order breakfast sandwiches for just $4. So if you've been wronged by pre-made breakfast and their frozen folded eggs and rubbery microwave bacon, get to Wendy's and get the breakfast you deserve, like the honey butter chicken biscuit, classic bacon, egg, and cheese, and the classic sausage. $4. Justice is served. Only at Wendy's. We got you.
Offer valid for a limited time only. Price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's. Single item at regular price.
Welcome back to the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader. Brendan Dworzinski with you in North Topeka at Viking Gymnasium. Start of the third quarter, Seaman will start with the ball, moving from right to left with an 18-point lead over their rival Hayden Wildcats, 33-15. Mateo Hyman starting the second half on the court. Came off the bench to start the game. He drives inside, left side of the lane. Will dump it out to Kaysen Stahlbomber, the game's leading scorer so far with 9 points. And he'll pitch it right back to Mateo Hyman on the right wing. Tosses back to the middle, and Aaron Davis given plenty of space outside the arc. Only taken 1 3 this year. Dumps back outside to Dagan Brewer. Brewer, handoff to Mateo Hyman. Hyman now on the right side of the lane. Drives inside, gets to the glass. Shot is no good. Put back attempt by Davis is no good as well. The rebound will roll off of the baseline and adds a turnover for Seaman. Ball rolls over the baseline and a turnover for Seaman. 7:29 to go in the third quarter. Ball is inbounded to Jake Muller, and now the Hayden Wildcats will start their first possession of the second half. At the top for Giovanni Williams, he had just 2 points around the horn into the left corner for Trent Duffy. Passes inside to Joe Otting, and Otting is fouled immediately by Aaron Davis. No points scored yet in this third quarter. It remains an 18-point lead for Seaman as Davis commits his first team foul against Seaman in the second half. Giovanni Williams to inbound, basket to his left, throws it into Jake Muller, free throw line extended on the left. To the top, and Duffy, now Joe Otting on the right wing. Tosses it back to Giovanni Williams, who has faked a couple of deep threes. At some point, he might hold that one. Has the ball poked away from behind, this time on a drive. Stolen by Seaman. Vikings trying to hurry it up the court. Hyman deep pass to Ty Henry. This one is too far up in front of him. The officials discussing who touched it last, and it was last touched by Trent Duffy of Hayden. Tough break that time for the Wildcats. That was a bit of a wild throw by Hyman down the court. Henry couldn't have caught up to it. Brewer triggers in, sent deep, and on the inbound, we've got a foul. It's on Giovanni Williams. That's his first. 7:02 to go in the third quarter. A sluggish start to this one. Nobody has scored yet in this third period. Brewer looking to inbound again. Throws it deep. This time Aaron Davis receives it, given about a 6-foot cushion between him and the nearest defender, Joe Otting. He'll hand it to Mateo Hyman, who will be a little more dynamic with the ball. Now back to Aaron Davis. Davis decides to drive, tries working inside, spins around, and who said he wasn't dynamic? Gets to the basket, spins around, knocks down the shot, and one. What a tremendous play by Aaron Davis. Not usually a huge threat outside the arc to shoot the ball, so that time he decides to drive with it, and it pays off. Getting ready for the free throw. First one is up, and it is true. First and only one for Aaron Davis. He's now got 5 points, 21-point lead for Seaman. 36-15, 6:45 left in the third period. Giovanni Williams at the top of the key. Ty Henry guarding him. Now to the left, and Muller. He works inside immediately to Otting. He's been the best scoring threat so far, and this time we've got a foul called against Hayden. Otting was able to finish the ball at the rim. Really tough shot, but he created a little too much space with a forearm, and that's an offensive foul and a turnover. For Otting, that is his third, but with a very shallow bench for Hayden. Torrey Head doesn't have too many options to replace him right now. Mateo Hyman controlling it, a minute and a half gone in the third quarter. Gives to Ty Henry, who had to sit out the last 4 minutes of the second quarter, but has 8 points so far. Swings it left corner for Kaysen Stahlbomber for three. Nails it! Kaysen Stahlbomber, 3 threes in the contest. He's got 12 points, 39-15. Now Giovanni Williams, right wing for Hayden, trying to answer. He will pull the three back down, though, and will drive instead. Spins around left hand, gets to the lane. Foul called, and a nifty shot off the glass and good. Oh, Giovanni Williams, that is twice. He's had an acrobatic finish at the rim. This time it goes high off the glass and through. Dagan Brewer with the foul. Williams to the line. He's got 4 points now, and the free throw will make it 5, and that's exactly what happened. 39-18, back to a 21-point game. Otting will sit down. Kalen Rice in for Hayden. Brewer inbounds to Mateo Hyman, and Seaman will take over on offense, moving from right to left across your radio dial. To give to Kaysen Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber looking, has 12 points so far. Gets it to Ty Henry, the game's second leading scorer, who will work it to Aaron Davis. Davis inside for 2 straight possessions. Can he finish? No. This time the ball is hauled in and rebounded by the Hayden Wildcats. That would have been 2 straight possessions for Davis with a good finish in which he touched the ball, to be more specific. Hayden trying to answer. Kick into the left corner. Open 3 for Kalen Rice. This one short. Dagan Brewer jumps back, hauls in the rebound with one arm. Excellent play that time by Dagan Brewer. 5.5 to go in the third. 21-point lead, 39-18 for Seaman. Ty Henry has the ball in his hands. Will pitch it off to Aaron Davis. Davis trying to drive again. Stays parallel to the free throw line. Picks up his dribble and hands it off to Ty Henry. Ty Henry gets in space. Launches a 3. Leaves it short off the front of the iron. Rebound by Giovanni Williams for Hayden. Averages 4.5 rebounds a game. Now he throws up ahead a deep outlet pass. Finds Kalen Rice, who will pick up the dribble. And Hayden will try to set up an offense. Giovanni Williams feigns the 3, works inside, kicks it right corner. 3-pointer coming for Trent Duffy. Side spinning shot, front side of the rim. It's no good. Rebound cleaned up by the Seaman Vikings. Mateo Hyman scoops it up ahead to Kaysen Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber with the left-hand dribble, stops, shoots it up to Dagan Brewer from right wing to left. Now to Mateo Hyman, left corner. Underneath to Aaron Davis. Davis working in on Kalen Rice. Skips it back out to Ty Henry. Henry thinks about the 3, will drive instead. His pass tipped as he tried to work it down low to Mateo Hyman. Steal for the Wildcats. 4:33 showing in the period. 39-18. Seaman with the lead still. Underneath to Trent Duffy, and Duffy throws his forearm out. Dagan Brewer tumbles down to the hardwood, and that's another offensive foul turnover for Hayden. Second one on Duffy. Already the 4th team foul of this second half against Hayden. Micah Kovachevsky into the game. Dagan Brewer will sit down. Kovachevsky inbounds to Hyman, and Hyman will run the point, crossing the divider with a right-hand dribble, getting up near the 3-point arc. Jake Muller, the closest defender, gets around a screen from Aaron Davis, but a good switch by Hayden, cuts off the driving lane, throws back to Kovačevski at the top of the circle. He drives, turns around, looks to pass, ball's tipped away, but Kaysen Stahlbomber is able to corral it. About halfway through this third quarter, 39-18, Seaman with a lead, tied for the biggest one of the game at 21 points. Underneath, Aaron Davis has a look at the basket from the right block, goes off the square and good. Aaron Davis, 7 points in the contest, 41-18. Drive going the other way. It's Trey Pivarnik. Misses a quick shot, taken away by Seaman off the rebound. Vikings going the other way. Mateo Hyman switches with the dribble, penetrating pitch right corner to Kovačevski. Stops, hangs, fires, misses from a long two, and the rebound's picked up by Hayden. Wildcats the other way now. 3:33 left in the third. Muller stops, swings back to Taylor Rice, who throws a baseball pass all the way across to the left wing, and Giovanni Williams, 1 of the 3, drives instead. Gets to the basket, access denied. Ty Henry with the block. Seaman going the other way. 3-on-3. Mateo Hyman pulls it up into the right corner for Kaysen Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber to Ty Henry. Underneath. Gets a little push. Gets some separation. No whistle, and the 2 is knocked down by Henry. His first pair of this second half. He's got 10. 43-18. Seaman with the lead. And a timeout is called on the Hayden sideline. Trey Pivarnik a little frustrated that there was no foul call that time. It's a 30-second timeout taken by Hayden, so we will keep it right here. 25-point advantage for Seaman in this one. 12 points for Kaysen Stahlbomber, 10 for Ty Henry. And the only points in this third quarter so far for Hayden, 3 for Giovanni Williams, who got an and 1 and was able to finish with that. The lead was 9 at the end of 1, 18 at the end of the first half, and is now 25 with 3:05 to go in the third. Inbound coming for Hayden, moving from left to right across your radio dial. Giovanni Williams will inbound. It will go to Jake Muller, who is starting the possession, lined up just over the midcourt stripe in the backcourt. He'll walk up, takes the inbounds, and approaches the top of the key, and will dump it for Giovanni Williams. Williams with the right. Shuffle step in that direction, goes underneath to Joe Otting, trying to work in the lane, loses the ball, it's loose on the floor, recovered by Roachford for Hayden. Back into the game for the first time this half. Jake Muller starts right, gets around the screen, kicks it to Roachford in the left corner. Gets a man to jump in the air with a fake 3, floater from the left baseline, no good. Rebound tipped away, picked up by Brody Gormley. In transition, not with numbers, he goes to the basket and jams it home! Brody Gormley with a full head of steam. The Thunder jam to extend the lead to 27 for Seaman, and we've got a foul on the other end. Brody Gormley about tore the roof off Viking Gymnasium here at Seaman High School with the 2-hand dunk. 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 27-point advantage for the Vikings in this rivalry contest. Kalen Rice left corner with it. Nearly has the ball stolen. Falling back, he traveled. Just an absolute Murphy's Law kind of game for the Hayden Wildcats, who have had about everything go wrong for them. 2:20 and counting now as the Vikings get into the front court, moving from right to left as you listen. Brody Gormley, who just had the massive dunk in transition a moment ago, has the ball short corner left, tries to pass it underneath to Ty Henry. We've got a push and a foul call. Ball probably would have been stolen anyway, but Brody Gormley commits his 4th personal foul. That will earn him a trip to the bench. The 4th team foul on the Vikings, and Brady Stewie heads back into the game. Into the front court, Jake Muller controls it, running the offense, trailing by 27. Dumps it for Joe Otting. Off the left side of the lane, tries a no-look pass all the way into the right corner, but it's stolen away by Kaysen Stahlbomber, and here come the Vikings. Under 2 to go in the third. Stahlbomber has a little bit of space on the left wing. He'll drive instead, stop, kick back to Stewie. Stewie not sure where to go with the ball, so he'll dribble, take it back toward the middle, cross the paint, kick it to Kaysen Stahlbomber. Right corner 3, he's got another triple! Kaysen Stahlbomber, his 4th three-pointer of the ball game. 48-18, a 30-point deficit, 95 seconds on the clock. Wildcats trying to answer somehow here at the end of the third quarter. Giovanni Williams has it at the top of the circle, goes Roachford left, now into the left corner, and Muller looking for somewhere to go, has his passing lane shut down, will have to throw it back to Kalen Rice. His pass stolen away by Ty Henry, and he will slow things down. Would have had a bit of a chaotic 2-on-2. Instead, he'll slow up the offense and bring it into the front court. 1:10 to play. His team up 48-18. Brady Stewie has it. Thought about a long three. Drives, crow hop, stop instead. Tosses back to Ty Henry, and Henry loses possession. Tried to float inside, and he just could not hold on to the ball after a fingertip got on it from a Wildcat. 1 minute to go exactly in this third quarter. Patrick Gorman back in for Hayden. Giovanni Williams will sit down. Peyton Bartlett also back into the game for the Wildcats. Hayden ball trailing 48-14, moving into the front court. It's Patrick Gorman. Drive across the court to Bartlett, now to Rochford, and now Muller at the top. Launches it into the left corner. Bartlett puts up a three. This one barely grazes the front of the rim, and it's picked up underneath the basket by Hyman and the Vikings. 40 seconds on the clock. Seaman can hold for one if it chooses to do so. Kovačevski has it right corner. Lofts it inside and finds Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber back out for Stewie. Stewie with the left takes it inside the arc down to 30 seconds. Hyman looks at the clock, wants to know exactly how much time is left. Working to create separation from Jake Muller, who's the closest defender. Gets the right hand out. Hyman inside. Crow hop gets to the lane. Floats to the cup and gets it in with the soft touch through the net. Mateo Hyman, 6 points, his first two of the second half. Down to 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. 32-point game. Jake Muller crossing around the arc. Working down low, trying to drive, goes off the glass, no good. Rebounded by the Vikings, handed to Kovačevski. He can't get a heave off, and we will head to the fourth quarter. 50-18, the Seaman Vikings in command here after 3 quarters at Viking Gymnasium. Fourth quarter coming up next on the Envista Credit Union Game of the Week doubleheader on 580 WIBW.
Ready to create your own income with your own home-based business where there's no such
VistaCollegeRoadmap.com to find out more.
Insured by NCUA.
Brendan Dworzynski back with you at Viking Gymnasium, 50-18 to start the fourth quarter. Seaman with a huge lead at 32 points over the Hayden Wildcats. Hayden does start with the ball in this fourth quarter at the top of the key for Trent Duffy. Duffy works inside, will then throw to Kalen Rice in the right corner. Now back to the top and trade for Varnick. Hayden wanted to go around the horn, didn't have an option in the left corner, so instead Jake Muller will go back to Kalen Rice in the right wing. Seaman not allowing any easy penetration today, but Trent Duffy is going to try it anyway. Misses the shot, but the putback is good by Joe Otting. Otting's got 8 points to lead the Wildcats. 7:25 to go. 30-point contest after the make. Mateo Hyman with the ball dribbling between the legs. Otting is the closest defender. Hyman doesn't shoot a ton of threes, but a 27% three-point shooter. Gives to Stewie. Stewie now to Micah Kovačevski. He wanted the three. Closest defenders to Varnick, but he'll pull it down and pass the ball around instead. Now 55 seconds to go. 55 seconds off the clock, in this fourth quarter. Now down to a minute off the clock in the fourth. Still a 30-point lead. Seaman milking the clock here, dribbling the ball around out between the rings, nearly swatted away, but Mateo Hyman is able to pick up possession, and he's fouled driving to the basket. Maybe driving toward the arc is the more accurate way to phrase that, as Muller reached in. 5th foul against Hayden, 6:40 to play. Because of the 32-point differential to start the fourth quarter, this period did begin under a running clock. So only with timeouts and injuries will the clock stop the rest of this contest. Kovačevski in the right corner, works back toward the middle, left-hand dribble drive inside, gets cut off, dumps it short corner left. Aaron Davis pulls up from 2, hangs, fires, and nails it. Davis now with 9 points on the game, 52-20. Again, a 32-point advantage for the Vikes. Muller running the offense, dumps it underneath. Joe Otting again has an open look. He's able to finish. He's now into double figures with 10. Back to a 30-point deficit, 2 minutes gone in the fourth. Joe Otting has been the best offensive weapon for Hayden in the last 2 games. And tonight, he has had to do pretty much all the scoring. He's got 10 of the 22 points for the Wildcats. Mateo Hyman trying to create offense with a drive, shovels it into the right corner, and Dagan Brewer. Now to Micah Kobachevsky between the rings at the top. Slides his dribble to the right. Working back to the left in the middle of the court. We'll pitch it off to Brady Stewie. Stewie trying to get inside. Wanted to make the extra pass. Commits an offensive foul, plowing into Otting. That's a foul on Stewie. That's 5 now in the second half against Seaman. But again, because of the running clock, play does not stop. Substitutions now for the Vikings. Hyman, Brewer, and Davis come out. Into the game, Drayton Grease, Camden Barta, and Brody Gormley is also back in. Gormley, who had the highlight of the night with that massive dunk last quarter. Approaching 5 minutes to go in this one. Trey Pavarnik has it on the left block. Barta, the closest defender, right on top of it. Swings it back outside to Muller, around the horn into the right corner. Now jump to the right block and Otting. Otting pump fakes it outside. Now eventually does pass it. He'll take the ball right back, though. It's actually poked away at the last moment by Gormley, showing some quick, flashy hands, knocking the ball out of bounds. 4:45 and counting. Clock continues to wind, now down under 4:40 as Trent W passes into Trey Pavarnik on the right wing. Barta on him, working down to Otting again. No look pass, shovels it, free throw line extended left, three-pointer up off the heel, no good. Brody Gormley skies for the rebound and is fouled as he tries to pull it away from the offense. Hayden didn't give up the fight for the rebound. Gormley, though, does a great job holding on to the ball, and the foul is called. Whistled on Trent Duffy. That's his third, 6th team foul against Hayden. Drayton Grease will run the offense here, taking it across the divider. Jake Muller on him. Grease heads to the right side of the court, reverses course back to the middle, and gives to Camden Barta. Barta brings the ball above his head, swings it back to the top of Brody Gormley. Now Brady Stewie. Stewie looks left, goes right instead, finds Kobachevsky, feigns a three, gives another head fake on Trey Pavarnik. We'll dribble instead. We're down to 3:41 to go in the game. Grease works to Brody Gormley. Gormley turns inside, kicks it out into the right corner. Three-pointer up for Barta. Leaves it short, hits the front of the rim, attempts to save it, but he stepped on the end line. That was good offense to open up the look for Barta. He just wasn't able to knock it down. Micah Kobachevsky will head to the bench. Another reserve in, McLean Finley. 40% three-point shooter in a very limited sample size this year. 3:15 to go. The clock continues to wind. Again, we are in a running mercy clock due to the deficit in this game. The period began with a 32-point margin. It's now 30 at 52-22. Patrick Gorman into the front court, stops at the top of the key, and dumps it off. Another substitution in here for Hayden. First action for John Ray Munoz-Fry. Now as the Wildcats work down low, the Vikings poke the ball away. Last touched out of bounds by Seaman. So the Wildcats will maintain possession, 2:40 and counting to go. Another substitution for Seaman, getting all the reserves in. Adonis Van Leeuwen making his second varsity appearance this season. Rochefort has it to the top of the key. Patrick Gorman puts up a three, gets knocked down. No foul called. It's after the shot. Ball travels out of bounds. Again, last touched by a Viking. So the Wildcats keep possession. 2:22 to play in the fourth. 30-point advantage for Seaman. The Vikings will improve to 8-8. Passing inside for Bartlett. Bartlett has it poked away, stolen by Camden Barta. Passes back to McLean Finley. Finley into the front court, right-hand dribble across the divider, into the right corner. Brody Gormley inside, creating space, goes up, has the ball poked away. Might have been a foul, no call. Letting him play underneath. You like to see that late in the game with 2 minutes to play. Throw into the right corner. Three-pointer up, this time by Hayden, and a swish home. Jacob Padilla, his first 3 points, and his first action of the ball game. Down to a 27-point contest, minute 45 to go, 52-25. We've got a drive and a foul for Seaman. 2 free throws coming. It's Drayton Grease who gets bumped. He fouled that time on Gorman. Grease gets ready, making his 11th varsity appearance this season. Puts up the free throw, and it is no good. 52-25, minute 15 and counting. Grease getting ready. Puts the ball up, high spin, gets the beautiful backspin on it, knocks it down. 28-point game as Grease gets his first point. 53-25, trying to score quickly. Hayden with a group of the JV players out there, and it is Ryan Rochefort who knocks down his first bucket of the game. He's got 2 points. 53-27 now the margin. Grease passes underneath. He's looking for Van Leeuwen, and it's tipped out of bounds by a Wildcat. 40 seconds to go. The clock will continue to wind. It will not stop until the final horn, unless one of these teams decides to call a timeout. Down to 32 seconds, down to 31 seconds. Inbounded to Camden Barta at the top of the key. Kicks it right corner from McLean Finley, who dumps for Brody Gormley, who's hacked from behind. No whistle, and now we've got a whistle on the rebound. Good job with the block. The hack that time meant the arm movement more than an actual foul call, to be specific. Want to make sure we're not being accusatory here. Down to 12 seconds. The clock will wind out. The Hayden Wildcats will fall to 4-11. Seaman will improve to 8-8. Patrick Gorman, one last drive to the basket, misses a floater short. Rebounds tipped out of bounds, and with the running clock, that will do it. Your final score from Viking Gymnasium this evening, a running clock in the fourth quarter, and the Seaman Vikings come away with a 53-27 win over the Hayden Wildcats in this Centennial League City rivalry game. Seaman improves to 8-8. Hayden falls to 4-11. We'll take a 2-minute break, come back with our post-game show. We will get you our player of the game, get you the individual scoring totals, recap a busy night in basketball, and check some scores from around the area as well. That's all coming up next. You're listening to the Envista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week doubleheader on 580 WIBW Topeka.
Even though we don't know what life has in store for our homes or autos,